binoculars.
Okay, they're live. We're live now. Hi. I think we got the first thing we got was a cough. So hi, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging.
Cough, and I have binoculars.
Exactly, that's what it was.
That's our form of the clapper.
Exactly. So hi, if you're in the channel, hello. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thanks for thinking of us. Thanks for watching. We're continuing our Vaesen game. We're continuing and I can finally say the title. I've been holding off on saying the title because I didn't want to spoil anything. But we're playing the Night Sow mystery, and you all have discovered the glow. It's another way of saying Glowson, but which you learned last time. So I can now finally say that hopefully we're gonna finish it tonight. I think we should be able to, but who knows? Best laid plans and all that kind of stuff.
Plus it's us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hit some plugs really fast, and then we'll remember what we remember, and then we'll get going. So for me, for Adventures in Lollygagging, we play this game on Mondays. We play on Thursdays on twitch.tv/ZweihanderRPG. We play a Zweihander game over there. And then usually Fridays or Saturdays, we play another game. This week, we're going to be playing Electric Bastion Land on, I think, Saturday. So you can come check us out. And then tomorrow, if you're interested in more Free League games, a couple people, let's see, not a couple people, just me and Chuck, I think, actually. Yeah, just are playing over on twitch.tv/Grim and Perilous Plays. We're playing some Alien. So if you're familiar with Alien, the game by Free League, we're playing that as well. Bert, why don't you plug your podcast?
Sure. I do a little podcast called Of Steam, Steel, and Murder, where we play lots of games, lots and lots of different games. We have a backlog over 10 years. You can find us at bluemagic.com, BLUMAGIK. And should I go ahead and say who I'm playing tonight?
Sure, yeah, that's
Probably
fine.
Be good.
Let's do that again.
If I can get back to that screen, where are you? There I am. I am playing Gunnar Arrowwood, the private detective.
Okay. Perfect.
Who has now a fear of pigs, I think.
I think everyone there has fear of pigs pretty quickly. Chuck, tell us about Defenders and then who you're playing.
Oh, man. Defenders of Cobalt, that's twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. Actual play Twitch channel. We've got MCC, DCC, Hyperborea, Zweihander, D&D as I look at Joe. All sorts of stuff. And yeah, I'm playing Anders Jacobson, the academic, the professor, the bohemian academic as it is. I don't know. I'm still frightened.
Cool.
So yeah, that's me.
It's a nerve-wracking moment. Okay, let's just go around then really quick since we're introducing characters. Dan, tell us about who you're playing.
It's me, Dan, with Defenders of Cobalt. I'm playing Dogmoore, the vagrant. The most vagrant of vagrants. He's got binoculars and dogs.
Nice.
And a mistrust of people and things.
How old are you too?
89. I'm
89 years old.
Playing an old man.
Yeah. Okay.
Who loves dogs.
That's good. Melissa, who are you playing?
I am playing Sigrid Hogstad. She is a priest. She's 49. And she just got the ability to bless people and items to give them some assistance.
Cool. Very nice. Ooh. Yeah, everyone got enough XP last time between our first couple of sessions to finally get a little advancement of some kind. So, Caius or Jeremy, sorry.
It's okay. Hi, I'm Jeremy. If you believe Jeff Slander, I'm the mistake. I'll be playing Caius Redding, aristocrat and author.
Okay. And you're a romance novelist, was that right? Or am I just making that up? Okay. All right. Okay. Have you come up with any titles of your romance novels yet?
I should. That's a good idea. Okay, I'll make that my ongoing project as we start the next.
Homework for next week. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Joe.
I'm Joe with the Defenders of Cobalt. I run one game, and occasionally side games over there. Here I'm playing Yürgan Leinbaldersön, the doctor. I think we decided was a surgeon last time.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not very good. I'm better at logic stuff than anything to do with doctoring. So
okay, your medicine skill's not very high.
I have medicine, but my stat for it's really low.
Oh, so you're not a good surgeon. Got it.
No.
Okay.
Just
practice.
Surgeon.
I have the points in it, but not the ability as much.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. All right, so that's the crew. What do y'all remember so far? Like we've been investigating. So I'll give the basic setup. You all came to Mula, this tourist town, at the behest of Linnea Elfoclint, who kind of gave you stewardship over the castle. She's a former member of the society. She's elderly and not in her right mind, and you all now have. You're like the next generation of society members, and you came here to meet with her friend Olga, her old friend Olga, and you found her immediately, like late the night you arrived, dead. And now the mystery continues. She was kind of afraid of something in her letter. So what you all done the investigation? So what do you all remember?
Well, there's some points we found out. Olga painted the last picture in the scene that of all the paintings that are displayed in the end. It is the interior of a cave. We found out that it is the cave that's in Skull Hill.
Mm-hmm.
We found out where Skull Hill was. Rooting Cave is a source of ritualistic magic. We found a book, her diary. Skull Hill is marked in one of the books we found with some marginalia saying that there's a charged section, a portal to hell. Interesting. The pig creatures can be distracted with apples and nuts, also from Olga's notebook.
Yeah.
There are
we
pig
immediately
creatures.
bought a
Yeah.
ton of
Let's just highlight that. There are pig creatures.
And
Possibly more than one.
Katarina, is missing?
Yes, Katarina Johnson.
Katarina has been missing.
Yeah,
A few weeks.
2 weeks now, 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, which is around the time that we're going to just go ahead and call them the coven of painters may have unearthed something.
Coven of painters. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And then we found Demonia, one of the coven, probably the default coven leader now that Olga is gone. She was also found dead.
Yes, that was like the last little scene from last week's episode. Okay. Anything else we can add?
There was also a missing
Yes.
dog that
Couple missing
preceded.
dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple missing dogs. That's right. Yeah. There's the priest is one of his many dogs was missing. He had a lot of animals. He had like dogs, cats, like a bird too. And Katarina's dog was missing at some point. Go ahead, Chuck.
Say at the wrap up of last session, there was another murder.
Mm-hmm. That was
I
Demonia. Yeah.
Demonia.
Mhm.
But while everyone was kind of gathering at the crime scene, I know Anders did. I don't remember who else did, but
It was
a
Caius. I went back and double checked. It was Caius who also had the moment. Yeah.
little flash that some of these villagers are
People.
the Vaesen.
Pig people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that will at all tie back with like there's tension in town because they've set up like shared beaches and there's
Mhm.
questions over whether it's decent or not, and kind of have different
Mhm.
factions that are unhappy about that.
Yet to be
Yeah.
bacon.
There seems to be
Mm.
two very clear factions. One who are pro like hotel, pro tourism, pro
Mhm.
Katarina, and then there's like the anti stuff, which is you've heard the name Anna Svensson. You've met her daughter, but haven't met her. You know that there's a couple people that were mentioned as being anti-hotel. The priest that you met with, Thomas Kranswick, he was anti that as well. He mentioned one other name, Magnus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Magnus London, the lighthouse keeper, as well as all being kind of anti-hotel. And the pro-hotel people. It was Katarina, Lisa Svensson, one of the men that you saw have that pig face thing as well. He also pet your dog, Dogmoore. So, okay.
Now, was he one of the people who became pig people?
Yeah, there was that very brief glimmer of the face.
Okay.
There were two
I
faces.
don't know that I know that specifically yet as a character.
No. So, yeah, I think that's about it. We can start. So let's say we are starting up right where we
Maybe
left
they-
off.
maybe they like
So
the
did we
taste of
determine
dog.
which of these people were Vaesen?
I would say you don't know who's Vaesen, but I would say Anders and Caius were the ones who saw something. No one else did, and so we'll start here, where for the last few minutes, Gunnar and maybe Jürgen were speaking with the constable, looking at the body. Anders and Caius were maybe back a little bit further. Anders getting sick the last time he saw a body like this, and then that happened. And so let's just take it away right there. Like, how do we want to handle this? You just saw this.
I do have a question on how that works. So are the Vaesen, like, can you always see their characteristics, or do they only reveal themselves sometimes?
Yeah.
And then only certain types of people can see when it's revealed.
So the basic premise of the game is that the player characters have the sight, and that means they're capable of seeing beyond whatever kind of image or kind of camouflage that Vaesen also can just be invisible. Like there's a degree, and some of them prefer to just not be seen at all. Some of them hide out as humans. So there's a range of ability, but they can control it, and people with this sight can bypass some of that control.
Okay.
So you just saw this. You've been talking with the constable Volmar Kant over as you look over the dead body. Looks exact same state as Olga from the previous day. What do you want to do?
I have had my dogs already smell over this once before, or their first victim. So maybe I'll have them give another sniffing around on this one.
Yeah.
See if they can lead us somewhere.
Okay.
Point me somewhere.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll. We can call it like investigation, if you want, or if you're looking specifically for tracks or something like that. Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah, kind of just some sort of like a trail or something.
Okay. So basically, just like last time, do vigilance then, because vigilance is more like tracking.
Okay. How many of my dogs would I be able to use for this?
How many do you have?
3.
3? I think one of them was freaking out last time, so we'll say 2. You can go ahead and use 2. And one of them just seems to just not want to deal with this at all. Seems a little frightened.
Do you want to have that be the 2 guard dogs or the regular one?
Whatever you like. However you want to divvy it up.
Okay. And I actually get 2 more from my talent. So
Okay.
I should get a nice little pool of dice here.
Ooh, nice.
All of that for 1 success.
Okay. Well, 1 success is all you need in this game,
Yes.
in most cases. But you once again, they do seem to get a little riled up by something. If you recall, you all this was not a main road. This was more of like an outskirts road on the outskirts of the village itself. When you catch the scent kind of going off into the sort of the southern woods near where you're at, like you're on kind of this, call it like the southwest side of town as you're coming back from the chapel, which is like southeast-ish. And yeah. But you can get something going into the woods to the south.
Okay. Well, if anybody is interested in tracking along with me, then maybe we'll follow it this time since it's daylight at least. And if not, then I don't know.
Maybe. I think. Does it seem like? Do they notice us noticing?
Yeah.
Caius will try to play it cool and then wait a moment. If it doesn't seem like they obviously noticed that he noticed, I might take a minute to try and. Would observation be what you use to size somebody up and see what it is that they're focusing on?
Observation is like the insight, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe having me do something provides a good opportunity for you to observe the others.
Yeah, because I don't want them to know I know. I just want to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm terrified I'm going to be eaten.
So go ahead and roll an observation test if you like. To try to get an assessment of them.
All right. Well, hopefully. Did it go through? I don't think it did.
Do you have it set to public roll?
There we go.
Yeah. You did it. Okay. Perfect. Success. So when
Excellent.
you look at the 2, the Nielsen man that you met in the morning around breakfast, it's middle afternoon at this point. He's talked to somebody else that you don't recognize, just another villager, and the 2 of them, they're kind of whispering a bit here and there, but I mean they don't seem to make any notice of you. Like they look up at you just casually, but no, they don't seem to react in any way.
Are they really? Do they seem like they're even? Are they just acting like the way normal people would at a horrible scene like this? There's no like.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely get the sense that they're maybe gossiping a bit, but confused and bewildered, and I mean, there's now 2 dead bodies and 1 missing woman, so you can
like
imagine.
not one of us pig people did that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if they seem confused, that's interesting.
They seem as normal as you would imagine someone to be, like beguiled, a little disgusted, concerned. Yeah.
So now only 2 of you saw the pig feature Vaesen.
Yeah.
And you haven't said anything yet.
Right.
Yeah.
My goal after seeing this is, of course, one, try and play it as cool as I possibly can. But my secondary would be to try and pull off Gunnar, Sigrid, and Yürgan to try and find some way, even if I have to do it like individually, to try and nonchalantly indicate, those people right there just was it vogued or whatever it is in Grim.
Baconed a little bit.
Yeah.
You can pull whoever you want aside. At this point, we'll say the constable. I mean, the constable as a sort of a professional courtesy, because Gunnar had such a good role earlier, last week. Professional courtesy, maybe kind of debriefs him a little bit on just what was found and no witnesses, etc.
Come with me,
Is
constable.
there
My
a
dogs
way
have got
to
something.
like try and push and see if people are Vaesen, or can you only catch them when they slip up?
There's no way for you to do it. Like, there's nothing that you can do that reveals anything. It's just
that's all on them.
Your sight works. So if they're a person who's kind of hiding in some way, like they have their own enchantments and things like that they can do. You all don't have any. You don't have access to any like inherent magic or anything like that. If you're looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll try and pull aside. Dogmoore's off doing his own thing, but I'll try and maybe move around to the other ones individually. Be like, as nonchalantly as I could.
Okay.
I saw them transform.
Okay. So you pull people aside. You mean I mean, all of you can. We don't have to roll for anything like this. You can just pull people aside. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Be like those few right there, and I'll individually point them out. They just turned into momentarily pig-like creatures, and I'll give a quick description of their features. And
saw it too.
Yeah, we're definitely deeper in this than what I first imagined.
But they seem just as confused as everybody else.
They did. Makes me wonder if maybe we have a rogue Vaesen amongst this group.
So you said 2 of the people that are in the group here?
Yeah, they noticed each one. Like they both noticed, 2 folks. Yeah.
That one's Nilsson, I think.
One was Nilsson, Mr. Nilsson there, and then the other was just some other villager that they were talking to.
Okay. Yeah.
I wish
so the villagers are just kind of circled around looking at the body. Is that what's going on?
Yep. That's exactly it.
All right. I'm going to walk over to them, and the 2 that he pointed out in specific, but if they're in a group of other people, I'm going to go over and just introduce myself. It's like, oh, this is horrible. When did you guys find the body? Start talking. My aim here is to use observation to figure out what these 2 people are trying to hide or thinking about.
Okay. The one who, I mean, you saw one of them at breakfast. That's Edward Nilsson. So he speaks up and he just it's just remarking that this is all very just very terrible. This is awful. This is who or what would do something like this. This is I can't. We didn't know who this woman or the one from yesterday, but
Yes, not once but twice.
it's just.
I take it this is not normal for your cozy little village here.
Oh no, of course not. This is terrifying. I have children. And he's like, I have children. I should go check on them. And he honestly seems little unnerved.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is to kind of get the if they're faking it, if they really don't have any idea of why this person is dead, or if they firmly do, and are trying to cover that up.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll an observation if you can see if you want to try to get something maybe that Caius couldn't pick up on.
And I'm going to shake it up a little bit by saying, we're here to see an old friend. But if I might, I'll hand them my business cards.
Okay.
Telling that, it says, I'm a private investigator, and I'm going to kind of carefully watch for that expression when they see that.
Okay. When they look at the cards, they kind of take it a little like kind of confusedly, but they still take it and they look at it briefly, and both of them kind of share a look with each other and like, perhaps you could help the constable. Have you?
Of course, my services have already been offered. Just to say that I have experience with this sort of thing. Terrible, horrible that it is.
Did you think this is are you a hunter too? Is this an animal? Do we have a bear or something worse?
I'll ham it up. Ham it up a little bit. Put the pipe in my mouth and light it and say, well, obviously it looks like this is animal damage here. See the rip and the tear here, but obviously look where we are, gentlemen. What animal would come in the midst of the day into this area?
And one of them
no, I think we're looking at murder here.
The
Murder
music starts to play in the background.
Murdered. There's a murder in the village. Did you hear that? And then like they kind of shout out like to the constable, like, is that true, constable? Do we have a murder? And the constable's like, we haven't decided on anything yet. Let's not start spreading rumors. We don't need to panic yet. And you can
and I bow to the superior observations of our constable here. Of course, just in my mind, there are some questions. Yes, constable, questions indeed.
Dogmoore away.
So do I think they're being legitimate, or do they know that this person's been murdered?
I would say that roll an observation. Let's see if you get anything off observation. There's stuff I can give you for free, but then we'll see.
Yeah. Observation. Okay, here we go.
There's a success. Oh my goodness.
Holy crap. Okay.
A lot of successes.
Holy crap. Okay, so I will give you plenty of things. First of all, I would say that they genuinely seem confused and shocked and have no idea what's going on. When you mentioned the notion of murder, they appeared genuinely shocked. They had it in their head that this was just some bizarre animal attack, some rabid creature. And when you mentioned murder, they genuinely seemed to be confused by it. The constable, since I'll just roll this over because I can give you something for those extra successes, certainly seems to agree with you and is just trying to do his best to just keep things, let's not
calm,
alert anybody or anything like that. But yeah, outside of the weird vision that Caius and Anders mentioned, these just seem like shocked village people. I probably shouldn't have phrased it that way, but yes.
They're going to go home and do the YMCA.
Yeah.
Do we know if the two people that were both like boar looking, are they related? Like, do Vaesen typically like have like all similar features if they're all within the same family?
I would say, I mean, like it depends. I mean, there's different kinds of Vaesen, like there's werewolves and fairies. Those aren't they don't look the same, but like they're both
right. But like, would you have like a family of all like the same type of creature, or do you just get like random ones when you're born, or?
The origins of Vaesen are a little more uncertain. You all wouldn't know that for certain, okay. But you would know that like there's categories, right? There's trolls,
Okay.
there's giants, there's fairies and such, and they share certain sensibilities for sure and certain features.
Okay. I'm just wondering if they're like a part of a family. Maybe we would want to investigate any outliers that we know of, like related to them or something.
I mean, the two men that you're speaking of, they look nothing alike.
Okay.
You know, Edward Nelson's kind of tall and in decent shape. The other one is shorter, bald. They're probably the same age. They completely different stock, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dogmoore, you are off trying to get a track. How far do you want? You're doing this by yourself with your dogs? How far do you want to take?
Because I got a bad habit. I've got to go at least far enough away I can see them with my binoculars still.
Okay. And you got one success, correct?
I did. And I'm willing to try for more.
No, I'm not going to do another roll. It's just the one. You are able to once again follow it just a little while, and it does seem to. It's southeastern side, southeastern side of the village here and there, but you do at a certain point just lose the track, as if.
That's where I was. Maybe I'll push.
I'm not sure if you still can. I'm not sure if it found you. No, I mean, like just mechanically. I don't know if like it'll let you push this late after the roll.
Okay, that's where I wasn't.
Yeah, just remember that. I mean, you can roll. If you want to push, go ahead and push. Just re-roll it. I don't think the push button will work for you. But if you just want to re-roll it, go ahead. You have to take a condition to do so, though. You would have to take a. Okay.
Mental or physical?
It's vigilant, so it would be mental.
Okay. Angry.
Okay. Okay.
There we go.
That's way better.
Wow.
Holy crap. So you get stumped for a little bit around this small kind of stream and brook that seems to go around parts of the village. You've encountered bits of this before, but you manage to hop across. Your dogs come with you, and you see that it just kind of takes this big long turn, and eventually you are back to the graveyard outside of the chapel. And when you get very close to the fence along the graveyard, which is just this wooden this like a wooden stake fence covered in snow here and there, you certainly see that there's a couple spokes that appear to be like kind of bursted through, like this chunk, this hole in the fence itself. And as you follow it in even further, there's a lot of hills, there's a lot of vegetation. This is not a very well kept graveyard, and it does seem to fade into like the kind of the forest off to the east. You do come across what appears to be a fairly large depression in the earth. You can see that there are some gravestones that have been pushed aside nearby that have scrapes along them. You can see the signs of like bones and such on the ground. Not sure if that came out of it. Probably didn't come out of any coffins or something like that. It might just be like a recent, something recently died or was feasted upon or something like that. And yeah,
perhaps a dog,
possibly. Yeah, you don't see anything else, but you see you follow that trail there.
Did it like bust in through that or out through that? Just out of curiosity.
That's a good question. There's some planks lying on the inside. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And only one of them is at this point is probably not completely covered in snow. So you see like one or two just kicking up out of the snow.
Okay, so maybe it's been this way for a while.
Yeah, and when you look around, you barely even have a view of the chapel because of these hills and the other trees and stuff that are decorating. And you're a good 100 yards away from the chapel by this point, so it's not even clearly viewable from one of the windows.
Okay, well maybe I'll feel like this is more than Dogmoore can handle on his own. So maybe I'll, depending on which way is quickest, either double back the way I came or cut through town.
Okay.
To reconvene. As
you turn around, you see standing right outside the fence, right where the hole would be, an incredibly large, like oxen-sized boar
Oh no.
with big
Bye, everybody.
red eyes, spiky, like the hair and stuff on the back is more like spikes, and it's staring at you. I need you to roll a fear test.
Oh no.
Fear means you're picking remember you pick either logic or empathy to handle this.
Which is the same for me. Let's say empathy.
Okay.
Why do I have a -1 bonus to that? Is that normal?
It's because you took a condition from pushing
That's
your
right.
vigilance roll.
Damn it. Failure.
Okay. So on a fail for, let me pull this up. So that's a basically what's called a fear test. So you get to, where do I have it? Where did I put it? I put it in here somewhere. One sec. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm lying to you and I didn't put it in there. All right. So failing a fear test, you need, first of all, you failed by 2. So you're going to need to take a condition. And you're going to, when you're doing, when you fail that, you get to choose between one of 3 things. When you're kind of terrorized, like you can either choose to be like a person who flight. I think you can attack is one of the other options. So there's a few different things that you can do. Let me pull up the rules. I thought I had the handout on what's it called, Foundry, but apparently I do not. So
Flight freeze.
that's it. Yeah. There's a 4th option, I think, too. So, okay. So you can flee, which is you must use all it. So like when we get into using actions, you must use all your actions to flee from the thing that frightens you. You can freeze. Your body refuses to move. You can faint. That's the other one. Your body goes limp. And a veil of darkness descends over the world. You can attack. So you attack the nearest hostile person or creature. So you get to choose between one of those 2 things. Unfortunately,
I feel like flight
Okay.
if I get to choose, but
okay. So you also, by the way, can push if you want. But if you push, if you wanted to push that roll, you can. But you would have to automatically take a mental condition for doing so, and it's possible to take more mental conditions if you fail the fear test. So if you want to push, go right ahead.
I feel like with 3 whole dice at my hands already, that's not enough for how many it takes me to get 1 success.
Okay. So if you're not going to push, you are going to suffer 2 mental conditions.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So I don't just take 1; I take 2.
Well, you said you're not pushing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're taking 2 mental conditions.
I take 2.
You're either
either
going to
way.
get a condition from being afraid or get a condition from pushing, I think.
Different Vaesen have different fear values, and so this has a fear value of 2, and so because it's a fear value of 2, and you failed by 2, basically, you're going to take 2 conditions, 2 mental conditions.
So if I have 3, does that mean I'm broken, or did I take 1 more before that?
1 more makes you broken, so you're not broken yet.
Yay!
Okay, so now. This is what I'm sorry to have to do this with only 1 person, but go ahead. Let's go ahead and just roll a quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll 1d10 just to see. This is sort of like a impromptu initiative. It's the same thing.
Wow.
Okay. That's bad. That means you're going to go last.
Of course.
The lower number's better. So it will go first. And it will go ahead and use an ability called.
Well, good game, everybody.
Yeah.
Why did we let him go
There's
off
an
by
ability
himself?
called.
I asked.
Insta-kill.
I didn't think he was going to find anything.
I also asked, and nobody wanted to come with me.
Well, you're always running off with your
Okay.
dog. It was like, he'll be back.
Okay.
Just the dogs will come back, maybe.
So
I got apples and nuts.
you're in separate zones. Okay. So you're in one zone. It's a zone away. So it'll go ahead and move with its movement action. And then it will, since you're not really taking cover or anything, it'll move right up to you. And then it's going to just attempt to bite you.
Can he do anything with his apples and nuts? Or is that on his turn?
On his turn, he absolutely can. Yes.
If he has arms left to reach into his bag to grab the apples and nuts.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it knows where the apples and nuts are and goes for them first.
Okay. Yeah. See, the unfortunate thing is, I'm not going to tell you. You were
Just go ahead and
so
murder me.
close to being able to see it. You just didn't. You rolled 4 successes, but it wasn't enough. Okay. So you can choose if you want to try to defend. Technically, you're supposed to choose that before I roll, but that was my fault for not warning you. But you can choose to defend if you want to try to do that.
What does that entail?
So it requires using your fast action on a turn. Everyone gets a fast action and a slow action. Fast action is probably most commonly used for moving, stuff like that. But in this case, you can try to roll defend. Do you have any any kind of equipment or anything on you?
Binoculars.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead then and you can
now,
roll.
if I defend, I can't move.
You can use your slow action. You can commit your slow action if you like to running or doing that. You don't have to. It's just that's normally what a fast action is used for. Go ahead and roll a close combat or a force. If you don't have any weapons on you, then just go ahead and roll force as you're trying to push off of it with your hand.
I've got my dogs.
If your dogs give you force, then
they give me close combat.
All right, I'll let you roll that. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Help me out, dogs.
Okay, that's great. So what defending basically does, or in this case, what parrying basically does, is every success that you roll cancels out a damage done by the creature that attacked you. So in this case, the creature, their normal bite attack does 2 damage. So that's what the 1 success is for. And then because they have a second success, they're just going to go ahead and spend that as an extra damage, which means that they're doing 3 damage to you. You roll 2 successes, which means it's down to only 1 damage on the attack.
1 damage.
So,
and that's a condition.
It's a condition, whichever one you want it to be.
Let's go with wounded.
All right. I'm very sorry to do this to you, Dan, but this creature actually gets 2 spots in the initiative order, so they get another turn.
Oh, man.
And so they're going to just go ahead and
this'll learn you.
Your next character will be so much better. They're going to go ahead and roll bite.
How it do?
They're going to go ahead and roll another bite. Okay. And that's not great. So I'll that's basically that's it. It's done. Okay. So what do you I assume you want to defend.
Exhausted. Battered.
If you want,
I can still defend this too.
What I'll say is, if you want, you can use your slow action to defend, but that means you won't have any actions left when your turn comes around. So either you're taking this or. Yeah.
I feel like I got to take this so I could attempt to do something.
All right, so take 2 more damage.
Do actions include movement?
Yes, slow and fast. Okay. If you look in our journal, like you can see under combat and healing, there's a combat actions handout that has everything.
Okay.
All right. So right now, Dogmoore has, if I did my math right, has 3 physical conditions and 3 mental conditions.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Basically just winning at life immediately.
What would you like to do?
Oh, no.
It's now your turn.
I imagine there's not a lot I can do.
You have a slow action left. So if you're looking
dump all my apples and nuts.
Okay. All right.
Send Spinderella out to the party.
Okay. So if you want, we'll say as your action on your turn, you can drop your apples on the ground and just let go of Spinderella and shout something. Perfectly fine. Okay.
Because I don't think I could move further than it could move.
You wouldn't be able to move and drop the apples. It's one or the other.
Yeah. So I'm dropping the apples and I'm letting Spinderella go.
All right.
And then if I die, hopefully the other dogs go too.
Okay. There's no official ruling in the book on exactly what the apples and stuff does. So what I'm doing is it's just going to be, you're going to get around. So with the dropping of the apples on the ground, it will suddenly snort really quick and then start just devouring this apple. When it gets close to you, by the way, this thing is huge. It's absolutely enormous. It's much bigger than you would expect like a regular boar to look like. But it seems to be busy eating, and it won't take very long for this to eat. So it's now back to you, and you have a fast action and a slow action. What would you like to do?
How far can I get to
Uh,
the chapel?
okay.
I think that's the closest building.
Yeah, that we'll say that's a zone away. You can get up like right to the door. I'll say that'll work. However, I do need you to actually make an agility test to attempt to
God
flee.
Damn it!
No.
Yeah. On the bright side, I'm going to say that it's not going to be able to contest. So all you have to do is pass.
I can't.
You can push. Oh, if you push though, you're broken. Okay.
I literally can't. I have -3 and
Okay.
I have all.
Okay. So what I'll say is you do not make it all the way. Like you're slowed as you're only able to make it away from the engagement, but you're not quite able to make it all the way up to the chapel.
And that's with
Can
both.
you yell
both
really
actions.
loudly?
We'll say that's with your slow, and now you still have your fast.
Can I continue onwards?
Yeah, we'll say
please?
using your slow and your fast, you can get all the way up to the door of the chapel. I'm assuming you're yelling as loudly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah!
Okay, all of you are a ways away, but I'll say all of you can roll vigilance tests negatively modified by 2. So give yourself a -2 penalty because you guys are a little ways away. But you still have a chance. So vigilance tests.
I don't think there's any sensical screaming at this point. So sorry.
Where do we take the -2 from?
When the window pops up after you hit you just,
Attribute skill bonus damage.
it doesn't matter. Anywhere is fine. And not
Okay.
damage, obviously, but like anywhere else is fine. All right, I see a success with Anders.
That's great that I got that success because I had a -3 on that.
-2.
I had a -4 on that.
Oh wow.
Looks like Joe got one too. Any of you can push if you want. Joe, you have 2 successes. You can hand one of your successes to someone else. So now we can say 3
Sure.
people got it.
I'll do to Melissa because it looks like you're you got one attempt.
I mean, honestly, you're all relatively in the same location. So as long as at least one of you heard it, it's not too bad. But all of you hear the old man screaming of Dogmoore in the distance. You're like, hark. What is that? What is that sound? And it's distant and muted. You could tell it's coming somewhere vaguely to the south.
Hope y'all feel
I know
bad
that
for
sound
letting the
anywhere.
old man wander off on his own.
You just
It's what you do.
You're a wounded old man, just calling out for help. You're unfortunately a very long. It's gonna take you a couple rounds to
It's
get
the
there.
sound of a Dan in trouble.
Okay.
What do his dogs do?
His dogs are basically equipment. If you want to think about it in those terms, because they help his close combat, is what they are.
So they stay
Harsh,
with
Jeff.
him.
I sent one to the party to hopefully lasso you guys over here.
Yeah.
But 2 of them I'm keeping with me to die with me, probably.
Yep.
There goes our good person status.
That sounds right.
We had some time left to lose it. We're working on it.
All
We
right.
did.
Let me see if I can.
I mean, I'm not going to say that it's going to kill them after it kills me, but it probably will because it's already
Just
killed
remember-
dogs.
You don't have to be faster than the boar. You just need to be faster than your dog.
No,
All right.
that's not what Dogmoore do.
I know. I'm a good person.
Yeah, that's not working. Ignore that. That thing, I still haven't quite figured out how to do initiative with like this because they don't have card decks in this, and that's how Vaesen does card decks. So, all right. So, starting at the bottom, Caius, it is technically your turn. You will be next to go.
God, how did I roll the lowest possible
Oh my
initiative?
god.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this so much, but I'm gonna.
Yürgan tied
run
you
that-
if that makes you feel any better.
I'm gonna run that direction.
Okay. So you're
I
gonna
hate doing
You're
it.
just gonna break into a sprint and start running. Then after that, it'll be Sigrid.
I will sort of alert anyone around
Okay.
and just say, like, it seems we have some trouble
Okay.
afoot.
And Volmar will look up, very confused. He's an older man, a little bit of a belly, but he will see all of you begin to start running, and he will go ahead and hustle as well.
Yep.
Okay. So you're moving, Gunner.
Run in the direction and yelling out, "Constable, quick! There's another victim in the making."
Oh, it's great. Okay.
True.
Unfortunately the Vaesen will the glows nice out will go next. It is done gorging on these apples. It will go ahead and expend its fast action to.
We should have poisoned the apples.
Gosh, you're right.
That would have been awesome.
That is a good idea.
There are poisons in the
Would've
game
been
too. So it'll use its fast action to move into the same zone to move up to you, and then it will go ahead and bite you once more.
Oh no.
Yep. All right. Actually, never mind. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna use charge and eviscerate.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry,
Sounds so much better.
it's even better actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
boy.
wait, I'm gonna do this instead is never.
I figured I would do the bite first to give him a chance, and now, well, the hell with him. Oh, I failed though.
God.
Unbelievable. Okay, it moves up to you, and you can see it's trying to like. You can see it's trying to actually like run underneath you, almost as if it's trying to take your legs out. But it does not. But you managed
Not
to
my
just.
old man legs.
You just managed to flatten yourself against the wall, and it just runs right past you. But it's right up next to you still. However, it's its turn again, so it's going to bite you this time. It's not going to charge and eviscerate though, but it'll bite you.
I can defend.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So let me roll the attack first. I've only got one, so now go ahead and roll your close combat.
All right. I get. Oh God.
Yeah, you're gonna have -3, unfortunately.
Yeah, that turns into a 1 with my dogs. So it's not enough.
Okay. You'll take 1 point of damage,
Yep, which makes me broken.
which means you are now broken. Okay.
Rip.
Oh no.
Okay. So that is their turn, and then it'll go to let's see, Yürgan. You're next on my list.
Okay, so we're still a ways out, right?
Yes.
To
I'm gonna say it's
out
probably
there.
gonna take you all. We'll say, probably say 3 turns to get to him at
Okay.
full speed.
Gosh.
Well, time for another beer, and I'll just sit back and watch the rest of the game.
I didn't think I was gonna kill somebody tonight.
Hey,
Our
it's,
bad.
Did we-
it's only right if Dan
So
dies
on
at
my
the end.
listening, did I only hear Dan crying out, or did I hear any other animal sounds or anything?
No, I don't think you heard anything yet, other than maybe we'll say you heard maybe one of his dogs barking. That's about it.
Okay. Nothing to indicate.
Yeah, it's really far
More.
away. Like, it's
Okay.
really far away. The vigilance thing was just sort of like to give you all
Right.
like a
Yeah.
mercy check, type of thing.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna run out there, I guess.
Okay.
Not a whole lot else to do. Try and drag as many.
With me,
People with me.
villagers. With me.
Yeah. Anyone that's like interested in the investigation, or any of our party members that aren't aware.
I will
Should be
say
good.
that you're definitely seeing the constable is coming with you slowly, but
Okay.
he's coming with you, and maybe 1 or 2 other folks are kind of curious. Others are a little confused and probably not sure whether to chase. But yeah, there's definitely
I'm not
gonna
going
be
to
a
try and
feeling.
convince anybody. I'm just going to be running and
Okay.
yelling like, "Go
Okay.
on."
Fair enough. All right. So then what we'll do is I think Anders, I think you're next. Running.
I don't know what I was thinking. I rolled initiative again, so mine was actually a 10. So I'm at the bottom, right?
Yeah. Technically
Okay.
there's only 110, but I'm just kind of grouping the people who rolled the same
Okay.
together.
All right, cool. I'm running that direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then Dogmoore, unfortunately, you're physically broken. So
Yeah.
when you are physically broken, there really isn't much that you can do. So like there's like whether you're physically or mental broken, there's like different stuff that you might be able to get away with. So I also need you to actually roll for a critical injury as well, which we didn't do yet. Now, if you look at the bottom of the...
I'll learn.
If you look at the bottom of the chat, there is like a little target symbol right next to the drop-down menu. If you pop that up, you should see. Oh, no, you can't. Never mind. Can't see it. I'll just roll it for you. Hell with it.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm still working on this new system. So here we go. Let's roll. This is random. Okay.
Oh no.
You have a torn body. This is fatal.
That checks out.
In 1d6 minutes. Go ahead and roll the d6 then, Dan.
Don't worry. I feel a 1 coming on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
dear.
god.
Man. It's just the greatest. Just the greatest. Okay.
I told you. I told you.
Okay.
You called it.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So,
If I get to do anything, I'll try and die in the church.
so when you're physically broken, the only thing that you can do is basically talking succinctly, and if the GM allows it, crawling to safety. So what I'll say is, we'll say that the door to the chapel opens up, and there is the father, and he sees you, and he's terrified. And I will allow you to crawl with your torn and broken body into the chapel, and the priest will go ahead and close, slam it behind you. Come in, my son. Come in. Oh, what is that? Oh, and then we'll slam the door behind as best he can with this thing snorting outside, wanting to get in. You have 1 minute to live.
1 minute. I don't know how long things last in this game, but I'm pretty sure 1 minute's not enough to change anything.
Maybe the priest can, stop the blood flow.
The priest can, in fact,
Maybe-
make a check. So
Maybe Tomas has got some good skills.
the priest can, in fact, make
I
a
hope
check.
he's going to come over with the Bible and just start wailing on me with
I'll
it.
look up his stats. Let me look up
Or
his
maybe
stats.
he's in on it and he'll come over with a fork and spoon.
Oh, boy. All of a
That would-
sudden, you see his face
Man.
change into the shape of a pig.
Such a terrible spaghetti.
Okay. Unfortunately, he doesn't have medicine. But let's
Does he
see.
have duct tape? Super
He
glue?
does
Yeah.
have. He only has 2 precision. So
Don't
Yeah.
worry. He could have all the precision in the world. It's not enough for Dogmoore.
So he will. So the door will open up. You'll crawl in. He'll be able to try to treat you. He only has 2 d6s though to try to do this, because that's it. And so he sees you. You're bleeding. Your entrails are beginning to fall out of your body or whatever. Everything's just sort of falling out. I will roll 2d6. I'm just gonna do this manually because I don't have his character sheet set up. Let me go ahead. 2d6s. I in fact rolled a 6. Look at that. So
Oh
2
my
and a 6.
God.
And so he is pushing your intestines back into your body. Like, I can fix you. Get back inside. And that's that.
You're back in your home.
Okay.
Oh no.
So we'll go ahead and speed through this a little bit. Then you're gonna hear Dan. You and the chaplain are inside, and you're hearing scrapes against the door, and you're hearing the snorting of this creature. But after a few moments, and we'll say he is kind of trying as best he can, putting his back up against it while still trying to keep you alive somehow. He's just kind of keeping it there. And after a few moments of you seeing him like kind of thrust forward and getting pushed, that will stop. The rest of you, as you're running up to the church, you come up, and when you get there, you see a large trail of fresh blood coming from the graveyard around to the front of the chapel. And you can see the door of the chapel. These beautiful wooden double doors are just smothered in blood and have all sorts of scrape marks on it. Go ahead
Because
and roll.
Dogmoore was here.
Yeah, go ahead and roll vigilance tests if you want to try to get anything that might not be obvious.
And where is the
my-
dog?
We'll say the one that he sent you passed along the way, and so once it saw you, it kind of turned around and started running with you. Okay.
This smells like this blood of an old man.
I could spot an old man's blood from a mile away.
Okay. All right, so we've got 1 success by Gunnar, 2 by Caius. So with 1 success, I would say both of you would also notice that part of that blood trail, you can see a very wounded Salt on the ground. One of your friend Dogmoore's creatures, little dogs, is wounded and is doing that awful kind of attempt to get up as a dog and fall back down. With your second success, Caius, you see that the blood trail briefly continues northernly, but almost like just quickly dissipates as it kind of leads right up to this big chunk of like this big hedgerow, this big bush. When you get right up to it, you look, and some of the leaves that are still on it and some of the branches are covered in blood, but you almost as if, by magic, the trail seems to have gone cold in some way. And you notice that a couple steps down, there's that same brook that just sort of meanders around the town. So whatever tried to run away managed to get away. But yeah, the rest of you would absolutely notice the blood on the ground and the blood on the door. Like that's easy enough to see.
Sigurd would bang on the door and call out for Tomas.
Okay. With that, the door will open, and you can see laying on the ground in a massive pool of blood is Dogmoore, this 89-year-old man who probably doesn't have any kidneys left. His intestines are in the hands of the chaplain, and he's just sort of pushing things down as best he can. And he sees everyone comes in. He's like, I don't know what to do. This is I don't. So he's desperately looking out for someone to help him.
In the arms of the chaplain starts playing in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna call Yürgan over.
All right.
For just $1 a day, you could.
Gunnar has no ability in medicine, so I'm going to check out the scene to see if anything was dropped in the struggle, if I can pick up the trail, anything like that.
Just Dogmoore's entrails.
With only the 1 success, the trail kind of goes cold. This creature just seems to have a surprisingly stealthy ability. We'll say looking around, the two of you who succeed on your vigilance test can find the cores of apples that Dogmoore dropped to perhaps give himself some time. You found like this little area maybe where this creature might have been nesting, but no clear signs on where it went.
Can I attempt to do a heal check on?
So he's out of danger.
So out of danger.
He did manage. So like the doctor with only 2d6s did manage to roll. And it's because I was rolling. That's what it was. Like we
That's
saw.
what it was. If this was up to me,
Dan and I were in full force there. Dan rolls the 1. I rolled a 6
10 and a 1. A 10 when it's the worst, and a 1 when it's the worst.
So if you're, he's still broken. Basically, he's effectively he's unable to do anything. Basically, he's completely and utterly useless. In terms of healing, there's a cheat sheet I put in the journal tab. If you're looking to heal as conditions, that actually takes time. That's going to take like a whole day. Okay. You have to bring him.
Is there nothing immediate then that?
I'm pretty much out of commission.
The NPC rolled the immediate thing. Like that's to treat the fatal injury. So now the other thing,
promoted to peanut gallery.
The cool thing, Dan, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but the cool thing was that you have an insight now. So the torn body has an insight, meaning you have close combat +3. Once per session, you can pull on that insight +3. So you get just anytime you want, you can just say, I want to pull on my insight, and you get +3 to that close combat check. When the mystery is over and you return to Uppsala, you get the chance. Away. No. You get the chance to roll to see if that becomes permanent.
Oh God, I can't do that, but I'm so excited at potential.
Yep. You guys also have a tavern, which one person can use to boost their physical recovery roll. So we'll cover that when it comes. But you are not dead yet. You're very near dead. Very near dead.
You're mostly dead, yeah.
Yeah. Had the chaplain failed that roll, you would be dead right now.
No. Push it, chaplain. Push it.
Okay.
For me.
All right. So what are you all doing now?
I'm just gonna write that as a talent right now because I don't see anywhere to put it on my sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go ahead and put it like under advanced. Actually, no, I think are there no insights on your sheets? I guess you're right. There aren't.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
just
see
putting it as a talent for now,
That works.
and I'm making a note of once per session.
Okay. So no trail other than the mess that's around here. Somehow this thing still got away and covered its tracks. What do you all want to do?
Gunnar, how you said there were like bodies? It looks like it had eaten there, and there were like bones and stuff left.
Yeah.
Gunnar, how old do these seem? I mean, I have no clue, but that looks like it's been there a while, maybe.
Gunnar, when you look at the bones and stuff that were in the depression, the wallow, it looks like animal bones. They're too small and fragile, and they're not very old. You can see that some of them still have meats on, so it looks like they were just nesting here.
I want to prod through it to see if there's anything else in there other than bones, but I will pass that on. It's like, oh no, these look relatively new, fresh.
Dogmoore would whisper, "Save the dogs."
Yeah, you would probably find maybe some fabric and such that kind of matches some of the clothing of the victims that you've seen, like because Demonia has a tendency to wear very dark clothing. All of the women that you met, the artists of the Covenant of Artists. Wait, Covenant of Artists.
The Coven of Artists.
All wear Coven of Artists. There we go. Wear very dark clothes. So
Now, were there body parts missing from them?
no, their insides were missing, but their limbs and stuff were all intact. It's just like they.
All right, sure. So this is scraps of clothing.
It might have just gotten
Maybe
stuck.
from-
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll fish out those scraps and put them in my little evidence bag.
Sure. Perfect. Okay. Tomas, meanwhile, is searching around for his flask, and he's just drinking the Catholic wine. That's whatever he's got. he's just guzzling it, and his hands are covered in blood and shaking because he is also quite afraid. And he looks like he could do with some calming.
It does feel like the right thing to do to maybe order. So what's wrong with Salt? That has like a broken leg or something, or
Yeah, so we're gonna say that that Salt is out of commission for the rest of the mystery. So you can go ahead and ignore her. But
I'm gonna give her to Tomas and kind of give Tomas something to do to try to.
Okay, so you're gonna give the
Keep an eye on her.
bloody broken dog to the man. Got it. So he takes the bloody broken dog in his hands.
Like wrap up the leg and give him something to do.
The bloody broken man and the bloody broken dog.
Okay.
Just the two of us.
Okay.
But is there another dog that is?
Yeah, there are. He has
Pepper,
3.
Spenderella.
2 of them are fine. 1 of them is out of commission.
Okay. Can I take the other 2 dogs and see if I can get them on Dogmoore scent?
Dogmoore is
so that if we want to,
you know where I'm at.
You know where he's at. He's in the chapel.
Or are you looking to try
The
follow
other
the
end.
blood away?
follow the rest of him
Yeah.
that isn't in his body anymore.
I'm gonna say rolls were made to find the tracks. I'm gonna say that I think once you start doing that, they run into sort of the same issue. So just a quick peel of the curtain. Like this is actually a contested roll. So your vigilance is against the creature's roll, like a stealth basically, and your rolls weren't high enough to overcome it. Is basically what's happening now. But they're hidden. The stealth rolls are hidden. So.
Gotcha.
Just good enough for Dogmoore to blow it.
Yeah. Okay.
Was there anything from what anybody read that would indicate how it might use this shrubbery or the water? Is it using that to transport itself possibly? Or
nothing like that? No. It just, I mean, when you look at like the thing it passed through, it just looked like it just wiped itself off. Like it was just like scraping itself against it and then just ran off. After a few more minutes, you could see a very out of breath constable shows up. And he nearly killed himself running over here, but he catches up. starts asking questions and you're filling in, and he'll
Hey, he's a new person.
Yeah.
See if he can find the trail.
So
That's what I have to say.
he'll talk to Tomas, get like the gist of what's going on. Dogmoore, even though you're broken mentally, you can still talk, but you're kind of rambling.
I'm broken physically in this case. So.
You're broken both ways. Actually, no, you never took a fourth mental condition. That's right.
No more. I didn't take any more mental.
Okay.
Just physical. So
Yeah, so then you're coherent. You can coherently tell them everything that went down.
hurts.
So all of you, and including Volma, are kind of caught up. And the other people who were with you, who you said it was a murder, they're all like, "See, I told you it couldn't have been a murder. Of course it's a creature. No person could do something like this. This is..." and they kind of look over at Gunnar and like kind of disgusted look. "You trying to rile us up with rumor and innuendo, and it was a poor creature that attacked this man."
What creature do you know of that attacks in midday like this in a relatively crowded area, and for what reason?
Did you not just hear what your own man just said and what Dr. Chaplin said? They said it was a large pig creature.
Oh yes, but trained to kill by whom?
Nice save.
They think about it for a moment, and then they just get disgusted and they turn around and they walk away. Oh, thanks for the subscription. What is it? Is Atropos? Is Atroples? Is Satraples? I screwed it all up. But thanks for this up.
I
Appreciate
didn't type right either. It's thanks. God.
It's a trap, lols.
It's a trap,
Ah.
Oh, that makes
Boy, if only
that
I
makes so much sense.
wearing my it's a trap shirt right now. I've got two of them.
Well, thank you. All right. What now?
Yeah.
I feel like we really need to find. Was it Lindenwood? Is that the name of the?
Yeah, it was referenced. There's like a piece of linden wood or something like a wand or
A staff that
staff,
someone used
yeah.
to control it.
Really
Yeah.
I was
need-
gonna
Mhm.
check to see if his binoculars are still fine.
I would assume you don't tell that part to the constable and such, but
No.
the idea that it's a big creature that just attacked is that cat's out of the bag.
At least, sadly, regrettably, with Dogmoore's death being so public with witnesses, it does remove us from the suspicion of the constable, which is a little less stress on us.
Probably from everybody, really. But
Dogmore's like, I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm feeling
When
better.
Dogmoore responded, he's like,
Attempted murder.
"It's okay, it's okay."
better.
With Dogmore's impending death.
This is impending doom. My bad.
Gosh, you guys got to take me out back and bonk me in the head with the Bible.
Jürgen, if you wanted to heal him, you would probably want to take him back to the hotel, set him up in a room, and actually you could spend the rest of the day trying to heal him if you wanted.
Don't worry,
Absolutely.
all Dogmoore really cares about right now
Okay.
is dogs are okay and his binoculars are okay.
Okay.
Yep. And I'd be trying to get any more information. I know he's already told us what he saw or whatever, but I'd probably just be talking about it, kind of insensitive to the fact that he almost died to it. I'd just be very curious. So how big were its teeth, and what was it like?
Well, when we're
While it was biting you, did you take a measurement of its teeth for me?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to
It's
10, tell
fine.
me your pain level.
Yeah.
The teeth, they were bigger than mine. The hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
well, while we're out of earshot of the constable, it's like, if our companion Dogmoore here was attacked while the two individuals we saw that were Vaesen, they obviously don't know what's going on. They were not acting over the corpse of the last poor girl that
Yeah.
we saw back there. So this is something different, or perhaps a rogue element, as someone had
Yeah.
suggested.
So with Vaesen, would we know they could possibly have multiple forms? We know like they could be invisible, they could disguise themselves as humans.
Roll learning check.
Okay.
You guys are still like relatively new
yeah.
to the scene, but we'll see what you know, just generally. You do have a little bit of a library to access.
I got a success. So
you would know it's possible for Vaesen to take. There's certain Vaesen that can definitely take multiple forms. You wouldn't. From what you guys did really well on your knowledge check already for this this creature, and that was not one of the things you learned that it could shape. You guys had like 3 or 4 successes on that. But generally, yes, there are Vaesen that can take multiple shapes, multiple forms.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm with you on this one, Gunnar. I think it's a rogue element. I suppose we could look at the list of everyone who has been attacked so far.
Well, I was considering that we confide our suspicions in the 2 that we know are Vaesen. Perhaps this is an element they too would wish to be gone.
I had that thought as well. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They call us crazy and send us on our way?
Unless it's perhaps, do you think it's a spirit that possesses? Maybe they have no knowledge that they change. Is
that a possibility? True. There are rumors in this area that there were spirits that would, when they weren't fended off, they would possess people, and that could be. And maybe this all started when, that group of people ventured into that cave to paint it. They disturbed something, maybe released a spirit.
And the weather is still such that we really physically cannot make it out to that cave.
You can do it. You can do it. It would take several hours, and it's dangerous, so it wouldn't be something that you can do without rolling. Like you would have to roll.
Yeah.
But you could certainly try.
Well, I hate to bring that up, but yes, it seems that this all started with that cave.
I agree with you.
Some investigation.
As much as I don't like the cold or getting my feet wet, I'm afraid that a hike might be called for.
Before we do we possibly want to talk more with the Melancholia, and I don't think I caught the name of the third.
Are you talking about the
coven
sisters?
of artists?
The Coven of Artists.
Yes. I believe we should confront them.
Yeah, maybe it's time to...
Demonia is dead, so there's Melancholia and Sanguina.
You
especially
should just blame them for what happened to me.
2 of the 4 of them are dead so far. I mean, that's more than a coincidence at this point.
I can handle cold and I can handle ignorant, but I don't want to be both.
Yeah.
Well, and we could just flat out tell them that there was a letter. We know they're hiding from something. Why don't they just spill it?
I'm okay with that. I mean,
yes, let us cure ourselves of this ignorance then.
Yeah.
And we'll say this conversation has been on the way back to the hotel because you're carrying Dogmoore, getting him back. So this conversation all happened, and after 20 minutes, you're back at the hotel. Dogmoore is grunting as you're climbing up the stairs that lead up the ridge line to where the hotel is.
Apples.
You bring him inside.
Apples. Yeah. So I don't know if I missed it. Just for Dogmoore's sake, someone did catch his dogs, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of his dogs is injured and out of commission, but the other 2 are okay.
I'm managing the other 2.
Okay. Good. I don't want to manage them, but I'm glad someone is.
Okay.
I took responsibility for it.
We're
old friends.
You take him up to...
I let him go out by himself. I should at least watch the other 2 dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So you take him up to your room. Yürgan and Dogmoore, you are going to be out of commission now for the rest of the day. And it's like, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's getting dark, but it's also stormy. It's winter time. But the 2 of you will basically be out of commission for the rest of the day as you're working on like this healing process, as you're doing this.
Am I still considered broken at this point?
Yeah, you are broken, physically, not mentally. So basically
curing that injury didn't resolve that yet.
I think Tomas's heal was specifically for the critical injury. And then now if you're looking to like heal physical conditions, you should be spending the rest of the day in a safe location. And then eventually Yürgan will roll a heal test and
see if he unbreaks.
Every success that you would get on that would heal 3 conditions. So,
okay. So he could potentially bring me up to...
He could potentially, yeah. So one success would heal 3 conditions. But again, the 2 of you are out of commission. Like you're done. There's nothing you can do for that. You are off the table for the rest of the day. Any interruptions would mean that you can't actually get that heal.
Yep.
Okay, so then...
gallery.
with that in mind, with the two of them dealing with that, we'll say that Lisa Svensson's bringing you like extra, towels and supplies and such. What are the four of you doing?
I hope you're getting more apples.
I say we go talk to the two remaining artists.
Okay. You go over to the door.
Yeah, give it a knock.
You pass by the German tourist who's going into the bathroom again.
Like, is it warm? Are you keeping it warm, my friend?
Guy looks at you and yeah, danke.
Good.
And goes inside. And then you go knock on the door. All four of you doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going for the intimidating power group.
Okay. You knock.
We got a
Well,
a gambit of personality here. If we need comforting, we could have Sigrid take the lead. If we need more pointed questioning, we could have.
Sigrid was already mad, just like
Oh,
from
okay.
conditions.
We're done
Sigrid
waiting for
was
the
already
pigs to
mad.
kill you. We're going to finish it
And-
off.
Dogmoore's her friend, so don't count on her for.
It's past
Caius
that.
is probably
no longer,
the soft-spoken one.
no longer the comforting clergy. Now the
Right.
No,
okay,
not to them
Crimson.
anyway, as
okay.
possibly the source of
The
this.
cause.
Dogmoore appreciates you.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Okay. You knock at the door, and the woman known as Melancholia, heavy-set woman with really big, crazy eyes, opens the door a crack, sees you all, and says, "What do you want?"
Oh my God, you don't know.
Don't know what.
There's no good way to say this. We
Well, then
have
just say
terrible
it.
news. Your friend has expired.
Yes, I'm already aware. Laguina is dead. Yes.
No, pneumonia.
And you see like her face like just completely go ashen. That can't be. She said she was going down to the restaurant not an hour ago.
Oh, it can be, and killed by the same pig demon as your other friend. I suggest that perhaps you let us in so that we can discuss this.
Roll
Please.
a manipulation test, and I'm gonna give you like a +2 just for just being forward and bursting out. Good
That's
cop,
awesome.
good cop, bad cop routine.
Oh, and that's without, you're going to give me a plus?
Yeah,
so that's
just roll 2
without-
more d6s.
yeah. All right.
Same slash commands work in.
Oh, okay.
Trying to get the Monty Python X parrot skit going here, and it's just me.
Is that she?
Next
She has
demonia.
ceased to be.
That
And then if
doesn't
you,
really help.
no,
Yeah.
if you click the 2d6,
Yeah,
it'll show you
got
a
a
roll.
2 and a 6.
Yeah. So
Okay. Hey, 2 successes then.
Nice.
So she will. You'll see her just sort of start to slowly back away from the door,
Sam.
and
it
Frida. I mean, Sanguina. Who are you? Who? And you can see they're like she's holding up her hands. She's got like a little tiny dagger, nothing special.
We want to help. We don't want anybody else to get hurt.
The time for prevarication is over. We know who you are. We were sent here by an old friend of Olga, actually, to check on her. So please, stop dissembling and tell us what you have done. What have you wrought?
You know, Olga. And when you come, it's just come in, and close the door. Close the door. When you go inside, it's messy. It smells. There's trash. It's like they've been holed up in here, and they are afraid to go out. And you can see there's 2 people left, and they're both kind of. There's like a little bit of weeping going on, but they're trying to hold it in. They're both dressed in black. It's just not a very attractive sight. This room, and she just says, you saw it. You saw the gloss, and whatever it is. That's what Olga called it, I think, or she found it mentioned. She said. In a book or something, I'm sorry. My name is Clara, and this is Frida. We came here because the land around the coven is magically charged, and we searched several caves and several ravines and locations, and we were about ready to give up our search when we found something. We found a place that was true to what the stories claimed, and we had hoped.
Yes, the cave on Skull Hill, was it? As I pour through my notebook.
Yes, and when we were completing our ritual, something burst free from the back of the cave. This horrible creature, big red eyes, beastly look. It was all we could do to flee. We have angered the Dark Lord. He has found us unsatisfactory. We have worshipped him for the better part of our lives, and all we wanted was to communicate with him. And I don't know how we angered him, but we have angered him greatly. And oh goodness, we're all going to die, aren't we? We're going to die. Oh my goodness.
Well,
When
perhaps
you refer to your master as a Dark Lord, did you expect pity?
Yeah.
Tell me.
But we followed the ritual perfectly. We figured he would be pleased, and
Who's to say he wasn't? And maybe you were just deceived.
But I don't know. I just.
What ritual were you trying to do?
We were just trying to get the gift of foresight, and it riches, eternal youth. The usual
Things
rituals.
silly people ask for.
So one ritual was supposed to do all of that, and
It's the
instead you got a
standard.
boar.
We only got through one. We didn't have a chance to do the
I
others.
see that artistic mastery was not one of the things you were looking to get.
Well, that's just me.
So,
We've been at it for a year. We're not that good yet. Sorry.
if there's any chance of you escaping this village alive, we'll need you to hand over all of your information on this ritual, on this cave, on your Dark Master. Just give it all to us.
Yeah, and they confirm some of the things that you found already. Like Gunnar already spent. They help isolate specifically where it is. They talk about some of the ingredients that they use. There was like chalk and pentagram. There was like a human skull with a hole drilled in, and incense sticks. Do
they have any of this in writing?
What led them to that cave? She had said they'd all but given up. Something led them to that cave at the end.
Just Olga was. She could sense things that the rest of us couldn't. She had. She called it. What did she call it? She called it the sight. She said it's just. She was able. She said to just tap into things in ways that we couldn't.
So she spoke to no one. No one gave her that bit of information that she should check that area.
I don't believe so. No, she consulted with locals for directions and such. I believe, but and equipment for climbing and whatnot. But no, we have been here for a very long time. For the part of a year, searching place to place, and to be honest, the rest of us were very exhausted and ready to leave, but Olga was determined. And she was the oldest of us too, of course.
Were there particular villagers that were very much against you traipsing through these caves, exploring these areas?
We certainly faced some ridicule from a few people, but not. I think it was more because we stay here. It's where we are staying. There's a woman in town. Even the chaplain was suspicious. Demonia was the only one who would speak to him, or he would speak to her. No.
What do you know of Katarina? She went missing around the same time you released this creature.
I honestly know nothing about it. We assumed coincidence, or that she's a very rich woman. Some say there were anger between the different factions of the villagers. We've heard rumors that she was murdered. We've heard rumors that she returned to her family. We've heard rumors that she chased her dog into the woods and was lost. And I know nothing of it.
In any of the reading that you'd done since then, did you try any reversal rituals or anything like that?
Oh, we've been holed up here as best we can. We've gone through everything. We are not. Olga was the one with the true power or something. We just. I don't know what to do.
So a conjecture, folks. If we saw two humans, what were their names? We knew the names of at least
one was
of them, right?
Edward
Nilsson.
Nilsson, the other one he didn't know.
Yes, that had these porcine features. Is this creature then something wholly different, or should we be looking for a new person that has entered this town within the last 2 weeks? If it's taking human form.
We asked when we got here if anybody else had been new. And the answer was no?
Yeah, there's no one new within the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks. The German tourists have been around for a little bit, but not
But longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah, longer than 2 weeks. So it's not perfectly 2 weeks. And the sisters, they've been around for like a year.
So then either it is something wholly different, or it is not capable of taking those forms.
Were you saying all this out loud, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pig people? What?
There are others than Olga who have the sight, she called it. Something very different, I would claim. But however, there are at least 2 villagers that have the stink of whatever it is you released upon them.
I don't know. She's baffled. Just
Right.
genuinely
It
baffled.
seems honestly that she is.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, you already did your manipulation. I'll roll it over. She does not seem to be lying.
Is there anything we can do to see if there's anything else that they seem to be hiding from us, or if they've been relatively truthful so far?
She seems pretty forthcoming. She's genuinely scared for her life. They seem genuinely remorseful for the death of her second friend. So,
And genuinely at a loss as to what they could possibly do to rectify the situation.
yes, I definitely don't know what do you say to pig people. Like, what do you...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't. They know. To them, that this is a first. They knew of a beast or a creature that chased them out of a cave, and then the only hatred that they have gotten was from people who seem to hate them for just staying in the hotel and what the hotel represents.
Was anything taken from Olga's room or her person? Something that she's left behind?
No, we haven't been in there recently. We moved the bed in here. We were staying together, and she would go in there by herself until she died. No, I don't believe so.
So did they hand over the ritual that they used to our...
Yeah, you have all
Yeah.
the information for how to do it. Yeah.
Maybe a silly question, but do they have stereotyping a coven, as it were. But they have any staffs or anything of that nature?
No, nothing really in here.
Okay.
They have no. I mean, you would probably they have some things, but when you look at them, you examine them, they're not linden. They're different types of wood.
The only other question that I would have for them, I understand that you received quite a bit of vitriol from some members of the town. Did you reach out to anyone to warn them of the danger that was now befalling this area as a result of your actions?
Olga said we should keep it quiet. And the Demonia said that the chaplain warned her away from certain people. But aside from that, no.
Well, it's only killed members of the coven. And other than this missing Katerina, there have been no other bodies.
I don't know. I don't know.
If we go down in the cave, we might find a Catherine body.
We may. Or we maybe use one of these sisters, or perhaps both, as bait to lure the creature out.
Surely you jest, sir.
I would interject at that, mainly at the point that even if we lure it out, what are we going to do?
We need lindenwood.
We would need lindenwood.
But still, that could only help us. Maybe if it controls it, we might be able to tell it to go back.
Yeah.
If we were there and we could order it to go back in, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless we did talk to Nielsen and possibly got some information about their weaknesses.
Don't forget too, Dogmoore did at one point see somebody walking away from the hotel with a staff, like a walking staff as well.
Wearing a coat that looked like the constable?
Looked like a uniform of some kind. But when you saw the constable, you could tell it definitely wasn't him. Like he's too
right.
rotund.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So did we ever get a description from Dogmoore on what that uniform?
Just dark colors and like a matching hat of some kind.
It was pretty distant and through the snow.
I'll ask the painters here if they would recognize anyone with that kind of uniform carrying a staff.
They would think, I haven't seen. I mean, to be honest, we've kept the shutters closed, and the only one, Frida and I haven't left at all, only to go down into the lobby for food.
Okay.
Sigrid is going to very pissily kind of say, like, are we done with these two? Should we go out and plan and leave them but continue to hide and let other people die and almost be killed for their frivolity?
I don't like your tone either. Two of our friends are dead.
And one of mine is almost dead too. So
almost dead is far different than completely
Yes,
dead.
well, I believe it was Olga's funds that have secured you your lodging. So sooner than later, those fundings will run out and you'll be forced out of your rooms anyway.
Yeah.
That's like the first time that she's thought of that, and a sudden just wash of horror goes over her face. Oh God, he's right. Oh goodness.
Your actions to this point don't have to be the sum
Coming
of
down
you.
with that cold hard logic.
You always have a chance to do more and do better.
I've told you everything I know, or everything we know.
I know. I'm saying going forward, this thing can be delayed with apples or nuts. I don't want anybody else to die.
Apples and
I don't care for your Dark Master, but I don't want you to die.
apples and
Please think on doing something better.
apples and nuts. Yes. Okay. Yes. Of course. Yes. We will, if you can help us get out of this, we will turn over a new leaf. We will really go back to a junior college and take some painting classes and do something better with our lives.
Anything would be better than this.
Learn how to paint real caves.
Okay.
But when I asked, I don't remember the answer. They didn't have any of this ritual stuff written down or in books or anything.
They gave you what they had. There's like some words
Okay.
in scripture and stuff like
Okay.
that, and just things written in Latin and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have the, if you wanted to perform it, you have all the ingredients and instructions with which to do so.
Okay.
Okay.
Sigrid just got out priested by Caius, so on the way out the door, she's gonna like give them both little blessings and
Okay.
like try to.
They look at you.
You did choke those out, didn't you?
All right.
Dogmoore appreciates you giving him some lip for him, though.
Okay. When you check in on Dogmoore and Yürgan is like just elbows deep inside Dogmoore right now.
What
I-
that means. I
that's-
don't know.
in his stomach and such, but the four of you still, it's getting close to, it's basically dark outside because it is wintertime, so days short. So we're looking at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and the sun's down, and what little there was from the storm that has been pervading the area since yesterday or since late last night.
Without looking up, I'd be like, "So how was your meeting?"
He's wiping your hand off, smudges of blood.
So, is there going to be a role that Jürgen is going to have to do
Yeah, he
for
doesn't
what
do
he's
it now.
doing?
You can do it
Okay.
tomorrow, so to speak. So because he's
Okay.
got
I was considering using my blessing on Jürgen doing this heal.
yeah, go ahead, give it to him, and then just
Okay.
when he rolls
So,
later.
Yeah, you get a
What?
+2.
Plus
Joe.
2.
Okay, just
Okay.
remember that when
I
you
might
go
as
to
well
heal.
roll it right now.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Can I get it out of the way?
Yep. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you can heal 12 conditions.
Whoa.
Yeah. So let me see if there's anything else you can do with them. I think that's it. I can't, because I know that
See.
each additional success can heal 3 more.
I have a talent that says you can heal a total of 4 instead of 3.
Okay, nice. Do you have any conditions of your own?
I think I took 1 mental.
Okay.
I have a condition or 2.
You heal a whole.
Anybody who's physically hurt would have to also be in the area and basically giving up the day. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything extra you're gonna get from it. But he's gonna be fully healed.
Dang.
All right.
You even feel like you're 88.
Yeah.
I've even gone backwards in time.
Yeah. Okay. Got a couple hours if you want to do something else, or not a couple. You have as long as you want, but it's effectively nighttime, the start of an early night. But
Is the chaplain there as well?
Chaplain hung
Can he-
back because
Can he fix salt also?
yeah.
I mean, it seems like maybe we could
Ooh.
ask him
Can
if
fix
he knows
salt
anybody that.
also?
Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm listening.
Do you? Is there any chance you know of anybody who would wear a uniform in town?
Who do you want to ask that to? The chaplain would probably be back.
Oh,
But you could always ask Lisa. Lisa runs is
Yeah.
the one who runs the hotel, so you can always talk to her. So
yeah. I think I would try to. That it feels like that's the next avenue to go.
okay. So if you hunt her down, you ask her that question. She'll mention the constable, obviously, and then she'll think about it some more, and she say, "I think the lighthouse keeper actually wears like a sailor's uniform of some kind."
Is that Magnus?
Yes, Magnus London. He does not.
Yeah. We never got around to him yet.
He's not a very nice person, and he does not like this hotel one bit.
Hmm.
Or Katerina.
That fits.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciated your help and hospitality.
And
Do you have any more
She's-
apples?
She's holding a bowl of red colored cloths that she's running up and down to Jürgen. No, I gave some to you, and then the women upstairs just came rushing down, saying, "Give us the apples." And they gave what they had. I can check with the market. I have more tomorrow, maybe when I.
Oh, I'm going back up to their room and grabbing some apples. They don't get to hide. in
All
the
of you,
room.
all of you have apples.
We don't.
All of you have an apple or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what do you want to do?
Go to the lighthouse.
Seems like the thing to do.
Is that a tonight or a tomorrow thing? Just to be clear. Well, I
feel
mean,
like-
more for Jeff's perspective. Is this something we're doing the next day, or is this tonight? Because if it's tonight, I assume
Okay.
me and Joe are still
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, from if you look at the map, the mole surroundings map, the lighthouse is all the way at the point of the peninsula, and you guys are over there. So it would take some time.
Oh damn! That
Oh yeah,
is
it's a long ways away.
a very long walk.
So yeah,
You
it would
guys
take some
can
time.
go without me. I'm safer here.
Yeah, it would be a couple. It would probably be like maybe like 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and it's dark. So
First
But-
thing in the morning?
Y'all have fun.
If we're gonna leave the town, I mean, looking at the map, we need to go to. What was the name of that cave?
Skull
the
Hill,
routing
or-
cave is not on the
Routing
map because it's hidden, but it's
Okay.
over by the Skull Hill, which is where I'm pinging now.
Right.
Being over here too. There we go. Let's
Uh,
get
It's
that
just
one.
everyone go ahead and ping that place.
I guess that's not really along the way though.
Mhm.
But I mean, if we're gonna be out, we can maybe make a detour.
There is a road that will go out to the lighthouse, so it's not like a dangerous, like, gotta roll force checks and stuff. But going to the cave would be because you're like
Definitely.
you're literally
Okay.
going into the wilderness and
Yeah.
spelunking and going in ravines and stuff.
So, I mean, my thought is just if we're leaving town, we should, hit multiple items to, so we're not trudging back and forth out into the cold away from the hotel. Especially if this creature with its attack on Dogmoore, I don't know if that would put the rest of us as potential targets as well.
Thinking of that again, other than Dogmoore, the only deaths were the witches. Why did it attack Dogmoore? Dogmoore, what did you find when you went looking for it? What caused the attack?
I mean, nothing different than what you found.
Roll. Why don't you roll a learning check, Gunner? Or
Maybe you
if
can
somebody
discern
has,
something.
did somebody take that one ability where the GM can can give the context? Didn't you take that, Dogmoore?
No,
Not me.
Chuck, you took it, didn't you?
Oh,
I
Chuck took
was thinking about it, but then I decided it seemed
Okay.
a little dirty.
This would
so
be
I
the
took
perfect
something
time
else.
to
You
do it.
chose poorly.
I did.
Well, I got 2 successes on
Okay.
a learning check.
So I would say you could probably put together that the 2 people who have died thus far are magic users, magic parishioners, and then if not necessarily very good ones, they still are. And Dogmoore is a person who has the sight, and that is in itself
Oh.
some kind of magical component, right? Something to you. So that's what they have in common.
Wonderful. Then we can all offer ourselves as bait.
Does he wait?
Yeah.
It's just nothing but Monty Python in the chat tonight. All
It's
right.
good stuff. What can I say?
Ah, that's fair. So do you all want to do anything else tonight? Or do we want to fast forward to the morning so that Dogmoore and Yürgan can play again?
Yeah.
Just make
I'm
sure
cool
we're
with-
loaded up on
Okay.
warm clothes and
Sacrificial characters.
Okay.
Yeah. I may take some time and kind of put myself in a meditative state and focus on the lighthouse and do some writing that evening.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you want to do your thing? Yeah, like your
Yeah.
special. Okay.
I'll give it
Well-
a try.
Before turning in, I think I want to go to the public house and just kind of sit in a corner and listen, see
Okay.
what people are saying.
Well, that'd be the inn. Mole Inn would probably be the place you want to go. When you go in,
not letting you go there alone.
damn,
Yeah.
almost got 2. Ah.
No.
Okay. So the 2 of you go.
Now you can get 3.
Or 3 if Anders goes. Then the 3 of
Okay.
you head out. Caius, you stay back and do some writing while Dogmoore and Yürgan are healing. You head out there, and there's a ton of gossip and conversation about these dead women. And not just that, but about you people as well. About these strangers who just so happen to show up the same night this all starts happening. And then every now and then you all look around and you can see groups of people turning and looking at you, and they're saying such, and then they kind of sneer or their eyes.
Did they hear about Dogmoore basically dying also?
They're just dumb locals, you know. they turn and
Bastards.
look. But yeah, you're getting a lot of awkward stares. Nils is the innkeep. He will come over, and he seems a little nervous, but he'll serve you. And he's like,
I'll just turn around, smile on my face, and say, if you feel we have caused you offense, come to the bar, have a beer on me.
you see a couple of people, like you see one guy is going to get up to go, but his wife grabs him by the arm and pulls him right back down. No one seems to take you up on the offer, though. Everyone's
Offense free then. Very well.
Nice.
But that's pretty much it. That's really all you're kind of getting, is just lots of gossip about this. Nothing really salient. So
All right, well, enjoy the beer. See, Nils, you said, is the bartender.
he's the barkeep. So he serves you, and he's cordial, not necessarily talkative, but cordial. And Caius, you want to do your automatic writing?
Yeah, I think I have to actually make a check for it, though. I don't get it for free.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. I
So
actually have it
it's,
built into the system now. It should be in your character sheet if you look under the talents tab now.
Yes.
Put it in
looks like
there.
I make an inspiration check.
Yeah.
Which, fortunately, I'm not too bad at.
That makes sense.
Two's okay.
Okay. Okay. So you get more or less vague clues, predictions about the future, or momentary insights into the thoughts, experiences of your enemies. Your little, as you're typing or handwriting. Do you type? Do you have a typewriter with you? Or you do handwrite?
I don't have a typewriter with
Yeah,
it.
it's
I
pretty
assume it's kind of
heavy.
more like in a book, and
Okay.
it's like it scrolls in weird directions, and every now and then coalesces into a thought.
When you go back and read through it, there's all sorts of like symbols and metaphors and descriptions that all have to do with the concept of light, like just light, blinking, light, luring, light, blinding light. Just everything just seems to coalesce around this kind of concept. So it's like blinded by the light, or like the something about sunlight, something about guidance, guiding light, something about luring, drawing people in. Just, if there's nothing more that you could learn from this, is that there's the concept of light seems to be heavily on whatever the powers are that kind of feed into your brain as you're typing.
Well, that gives me such good feelings about how this is going to go tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. When you're kind of reading over that, go ahead and roll a vigilance test while you're at it too. And I'm going to say -2 mod, because you were kind of busy and off doing your thing.
A vigilance check, you say?
That is what I say.
All right, and I think I can put the -2 into the bonus. There we go.
Mhm.
And
Okay. You, speaking of light, and maybe it's just a momentary strangeness of it all, but you see a massively bright light as your kind of trance ends. You realize that there's far more light in the room than you thought there would be. Usually there's just, the candlelight and whatnot, but it's like pouring in through the windows, as if there's something very, very bright outside.
weird. Would that come from the direction? Like we said, the lighthouse is like off towards in the peninsula.
Mhm.
Does it look like the source of it's coming vaguely from that direction?
It's coming from, we'll say like the northern window of your room.
It's not coming from the lighthouse. Is that what
It's
you're
like
getting
coming in through slats.
Yeah.
Like, remember, your windows are closed. Like, it's cold. It's
Yeah.
cold as hell, So like, but there's there's seams and such. So, but it's very bright and very noticeable.
Great. I, against my better instinct, will open the window.
Okay. And when you do, you are immediately just. I need you to roll a. I think it's a. me double check. I think it's a vigilance test again. Rolling a little
Okay.
resistance. Double checking. I lied. Never mind. You don't have to roll anything. Okay,
Thank
you're
goodness.
fine. So you're looking out, and there's this. It's almost as if the entire, the whole northern side and spilling into the eastern side of the hotel is just like bathed in like this white light. You're kind of staring out. You can't. It's so blinding. You can't really even see anything.
Mhm.
And then eventually it dies down. You hear very briefly the sound of a woman screaming, and then the light goes away, and there's nothing else.
Oh no! Is there like a general make out at all where it sounded like the scream came from?
Yeah. I mean, just to the north, outside your northern window, not too far
Okay.
away. Maybe 20 yards outside.
But yeah, it's from outside. It's not from inside.
Yes, it's from outside.
Take my binoculars.
At that point, it is just like running in a panic to find anybody and
Okay.
tell them they're screaming.
You're running out. You have the two of them that are healing, and so if they were to help you, then that heal goes away,
I
And
know.
we all went to the bar.
and the rest of them went to the bar. So
I offered my binoculars.
There's the women, and then there's like Lisa Svensson and such. So
I may double check to make sure that it was. I forget was it Sanguina? Is that what the other one's name was?
Melancholia was the heavy set one. Sanguina was the one that was a little older, stringy hair. She didn't.
Maybe
she didn't
briefly
talk
double
much.
check that they didn't like try running off or
Okay.
some nonsense.
You go knock on the door, and you see the door opens up, and there is Sanguina, the older, kind of stringy haired. She says, "What is it you want?"
Where's Melancholia?
She went downstairs to fetch us some brandy.
Well, that's what they all say before they die.
There's a scream outside. I'm gonna go try and get help.
Do you want her to come with you? She's like thinking about coming with you, but then she's like looking like I'm the last one left. If you want her to come with you, roll a manipulation test. If you want to let her stay here, then just let her stay here. Just say that.
I don't know. Caius is a really nice guy.
But Jeremy isn't.
Jeremy's not. Jeremy's
Jeremy wants
thinking,
to
good.
load her in a catapult and just fling her to the moon. That's what she wants.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. He's of the mindset like it's better to be
Okay.
safety in numbers.
Okay.
So
Roll a manipulation test. It's fine.
I'm not trying to gather information from her, so I can't really use my journalist ability, I don't think. So I'll just do regular old manipulation.
Okay. She will come with you. Yes. You'll see her reach back and grab this like sacrificial dagger that looks more showy than it probably is. It's fancy looking, but she'll tuck it away, and then she'll come. I'll lead the way.
Okay.
She's a little older, and she's kind of like strong calves on you. But you go downstairs. You head out in the direction of where the sound came, and as you get out there, there's a little bit of light from the porch of the hotel. You notice that there's a very large body laying in the snow, about 20 yards away from the hotel. And when you get up close, you can tell immediately it is Melancholia.
Why do you keep going outside? Why did I ask you to come outside? What am I doing?
And you turn around, and Frida's like, and she's just going to turn around and run inside at that point.
I'm going to run to the pub.
Okay, by yourself?
Oh, God. Oh, no. No, you need to come to the pub.
And she's like, no, I'm going inside. It's the only place I've been safe. I'm going back inside.
Mhm.
There's a little voice in your head that says, if you just leave her outside, maybe it'll just eat her and go away.
Yeah, I'm going to run to the pub.
Okay.
Oh man, I gotta run to the restroom.
As fast as you can, or as silent.
Don't die
as
on
you
the
can.
way.
Running in a complete panic.
Okay. Roll an agility test.
Okay. I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's make it a force test because it is endurance for running. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a physical condition for
Okay.
that. But you do get there. Exhausted, panting, out of breath.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the exhausted option.
That sounds perfect. Right as the door opens, you see your companions are getting ready to come back, and
you just pull this. So there's light, just with the blindness and the light, and over something, and then on the hotel, and then she's dead, and then she came with me. She ran away, and oh god,
Buried the lead. Who's dead?
What? Let's start with that. Who's dead?
Melancholia.
She went outside.
Yes.
Why?
They were going to get alcohol. Why did I come outside? I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's bad. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know.
So where's Sanguina?
She went back to the hotel. But it was weird. It's like right after I did my writing, and everything here points to like something about what's malevolent here is tied to the light and blinding people with the light. And as soon as I did it, there's just this overwhelming light coming through my window. Open up the window. There's a scream. Go to find the scream. Dead body. Also convincing one of the her to come, and then she ran away and left me alone, and I ran here and I was terrified.
Let's start that very long sentence over again.
All right.
So something about light and then a scream.
Right.
Okay. Give that to me again.
I'll just hand him the book and just go sit down.
There's all sorts of different stuff. There's things about like a light that guides, a light that lures, a light that, there's multiple different ways in which light is being referenced. So it's not just like one singular like reference to a thing. It's more light is incredibly important for some reason.
So I'll lay the book out so we all can see it. Weren't we all talking about visiting the lighthouse tomorrow?
I'm pretty sure he's going to kill us if we do.
Or he's the sole bastion against it. Not that I'm there to say it. You don't need to answer that.
I think that we're getting this clue that a lighthouse. We've heard that the guy who's operating the lighthouse is wildly against the hotel. This town seems to be split down the middle on the liking the hotel or not. And then also the only people who are getting attacked are the magically inclined who are staying in the hotel. I don't know. It's a toss-up. It's this cave or it's the lighthouse. Maybe whatever was in the cave possessed the dude in the lighthouse because he would be the most remote. What do you guys think?
Well, the cave is along the way to the lighthouse.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, it would be nice if we used our trip out of town to visit both places.
Mm-hmm.
The cave would take longer because you have to go off-road. Just so you know, it'd be multiple hours to and from the cave. Probably twice as long to get to and back, because even though it looks like a shorter distance,
it's
there's an actual road to the lighthouse.
Okay. So if we were to leave first thing in the morning and then go to both locations, could we make it back before sundown?
Depending on how much time you spent there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember the very short days, because it is Sweden and
so far north. Yeah. So there, Caius, did you tell anyone else that she was dead? Just what's her face?
I was yelling a lot. I screamed a little bit. So pretty sure I was going to get eaten.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
Are we having this conversation in the bar?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Bad decisions always happen in bars.
Or the best.
Or the best.
It's probably just now, like you asked something along those lines, and Caius like actually scans the room and realizes there's like lots of other people around.
Yeah.
Has the snow been bad enough that the roads are closed?
No, they're I would say they're probably not closed, but the road itself, when I say road, it's more just like a simple pathway, meaning you'll be able to get there fairly easily. You won't have to roll like a navigation test or anything. You can follow signposts and just the general like this path has been cleared of trees and such.
Well established.
So in this era and in this town, what would we expect for transportation? Are we talking sleds?
You could
Horses, cars?
I think horses probably, because it's that's what I have stats for. So we could say horses.
Or feetses.
So yeah, the only thing I don't really have any like sled stuff. Dog sleds would probably make sense, but I don't know how. Yeah, but you probably could get something like that. You could probably wrangle that up, or some horses.
We just talked about this on our podcast. Jeff and I have lived in warm weather environments. We don't really know the ins and outs of like what you do in like snow.
Walk.
Well, scan the
Freeze.
room. Is there anyone
Die.
here that would be a handsome driver, a cab driver, or whatever you want to call it with the horses?
Okay. Do any of you have capital left?
I think I saved some back.
I spent one of mine. I think I had 2 spare.
It's been 2, so I have one
Two
left.
spares well, and I spent one on apples.
I tell you,
Put
who's
all of
got
mine in
none.
the pot.
Does anybody
Okay,
have?
no, I've spent all my capital, so now
Okay.
I'm out.
If
Of
there
one
were, you could probably get a couple horses. The availability of 3 for a strong horse. Weak horse would be 2, so you can get some weak horses. You can burn the rest of your capital. How much total capital will that give you?
I have 1. What did anyone else have?
1.
2. None for Caius and none for
No.
Anders. Okay. And then somebody then could roll roll your resources score. So I would say honestly, with all your resources put together, you could probably get a handful. You could probably pay for the use of a couple horses. Just to keep the story moving. Like I think you probably could do that if you threw your resources
Yeah.
together.
Well, a couple of horses isn't going to do us any good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, with everyone that's going, we either need horse-drawn carriage or we need
We'll say
horses
that.
for everyone.
We'll say a horse-drawn carriage will work. Yeah, some sort of. It's probably more like a shitty wagon, but like than anything fancy. But yeah, something that'll work.
Maybe a flatbed
Yeah.
used for farming.
Sure. Okay.
Schwaggin.
Right.
Okay.
Are we going to,
I will secure that while I'm here. Kind of wander around and find out who could provide that.
Okay. Nils will make a suggestion, and then you'll get that lined up. For tonight, for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, very early.
Okay, it's done. No problem.
Any chance the constable is around to inform him of the next dead body that he should look into?
Sure. So we'll say he'll wander back with you, and looks like his hairline is receding a little bit more rapidly than he expected it would be. But yeah. Okay.
Off to bed?
That's fine.
Oh, in fact, the constable told us not to leave town, right? So
Yeah.
we need to tell him that we're going on a journey tomorrow morning.
Okay. And he inquires when you will return.
Oh, before nightfall with luck.
And he will say,
Please send people looking for us
He'll
if we're
say,
not back.
Okay. And he will say, as long as you return to him on the morrow, and that'll do. All right. So then we'll fast forward to the morning so that Dogmoore can get his heal and can play again. Yürgan, you're done healing and you can play again. But morning comes. There was a bit of a hullabaloo outside as there were more people there last night looking at the new dead body. There's still people here in the morning as well, kind of who didn't hear about it the night before. They're here this morning. But yeah, you can do what you like.
Everybody's got to see the new dead thing.
So what's the plan? Where do you want to head?
We're doing lighthouse first or cave first?
I have terrible feelings about both of them.
I feel like the lighthouse is the more reasonable thing to go to first, because then we can see if there's somebody there or not.
Yes, unless he is our villain.
In
And
which
we
case
are,
we shortcut it, and then we just solve the problem right then and there.
unless what we find in the cave would give us ammunition to help us. But no, I agree.
That's fair.
perhaps
That's
the-
fair.
Okay. So you get on the wagon.
lighthouse. Yeah.
And you ask a couple questions. They point you to the Italian road. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. You get on that, and
And we load up with apples and nuts. Before
we'll say everyone's got one set of apples, whatever we want to call that.
Gonna
one-
find some
One
rat
use-
handful of trail
poison and
mix.
lace my apples with rat poison.
roll a resource check. There actually is poison in the game, so roll your resources. The number of die equal to your resource score. If you're looking to.
Aha!
Okay, I think that should get you.
Let's make sure it's fast acting poison,
Let me see what you can afford.
so it's actually helpful.
We've got.
Not just take back to the nest and kill later poison.
Yeah.
It's going to have indigestion later.
Yeah.
All right, so extremely strong is too expensive for you, but I think the.
I'd remember that as I'm being eaten alive.
You can get 2 doses of strong poison with those 2 successes. So.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
Anything we can do to load up, sure.
Yeah. I'll drag it into your inventory here so you can see it.
See, Dogmoore, you almost being killed was enough to give us an idea that might help us later. So thank you.
Yay! I helped.
You did it.
Okay. So I just put it in your gear tab there, Gunner. All right. So you get in the wagon. You start heading out. The overcast, snow, wind. It's not a particularly great day, obviously. But you travel. It takes about 2 hours or so, and it's not the easiest ride. More than once, like you had to hop out and clear something out of the way that had fallen from one of the storms. But eventually you get to the edge of the peninsula. And remember, this is all kind of on the peninsula itself is like this long raised portion where the beaches are these small swales that you have to go down these little like switchback roads and boardwalks down to. So you're fairly high up. But yeah, you approach, you see ahead of you the lighthouse itself. There's this big whitewashed tower with a stone house that's fairly modest. It's attached to it. You approach from the south, which is where the road is. You don't really see much of anything. Looks like there's some kind of fenced in area around back on the northern side or northeast side a bit, maybe a garden or something like that that's snowed over at this point. What do y'all want to do?
Question. While we're kind of riding out there, can we do one of those rest things where we like talk to each other and heal some mental conditions? Like you have a scene together where you or several other PCs recover 2 conditions once per day?
Sure. We'll say we can do that. Go ahead and roll your inspiration test.
Okay. And then anybody that talks to me can do 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, we'll say
I'll
one
talk
person.
to you.
One person needs to be driving. So we'll say, and so
Who doesn't have any?
Dogmore's not good at that, but Dogmoore can drive.
Yeah, I don't have any conditions. I can drive
Okay.
to or help.
Other than that,
So,
everyone
yeah.
else is fine. So go ahead and roll it. Okay.
Oh, check.
So it's the same deal. 1 per, 3 per 1. So you can, 2 people, you can heal up to, I think, 6 conditions off people.
Okay. Does somebody have to have a success back for me to heal something?
No, that doesn't sound right. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but it
I say if
it's just like the physical check that Yürgan rolled.
I was going to say, if you can hand off a success, give me one of your successes and we can cross heal.
Yeah. Well, and if you talk to me, you can heal 3.
Okay. Luckily, I
That
only
just
need
automatically
1,
works.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just need 1.
And I think
Cool.
Dogmoore, you're good too.
Yeah, I got absolutely cleared by Joe.
Okay.
I am no longer frightened.
All right.
I'll say I'm, no
still
longer.
exhausted.
Nothing you can do with that. She can't help with that.
Yeah, it's just a mental. Basically, we're just having a little group therapy session.
But yeah, you get to
That's nice.
you get to the lighthouse. There's a big old tower. There's a small little plot in the back, it looks like, and there's a small house. A couple trees, a couple chunks of granite here and there sticking up out of the ground, partially covered in snow.
Dogmoore's only got one thing to do.
Are there usually people here that stay here, or is this just
There's one, as far as you know, there's one guy who stays out here, a bit of a recluse.
Yeah,
Lighthouse
goodness.
keeper, so he probably keeps night hours though. So
Probably,
yeah.
So you're saying he's known to have a bad attitude, and we're gonna make him up. We're gonna wake him up during the middle of his rest.
Plan.
Great. And he may or may not have magical powers and want to kill us. So
May or may not.
Yes.
great. Okay.
Can take just a moment and look around. If we saw him in the what was it, night before last, possibly leaving the inn.
So you wanna search around? You wanna
Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to take a look around.
go ahead and
Um,
roll vigilance as you're moving about? What is everybody else doing?
I'd maybe try to help him with that if possible.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to get
think
in
we
his
probably all do
way,
that.
but
Looking with the binoculars at all the things.
I'll just while they're searching around, I'll just kind of stand on the wagon and just kind of keep watch.
Okay.
One success with all of those dice.
Okay. Looking around, you don't see any signs of the lighthouse keeper.
Looking for like signs of coming and going. Definitely looking for tracks of like a beast, stuff like that.
Okay. Nothing seems to be. You don't really see anything this morning. Like, doesn't look like anyone's left, at least within the last couple of hours, that would still be visible with the snow. So,
Right.
if someone's here, they're probably still inside.
So that's what I was thinking. If he was in the vicinity to command the beast to kill one of the coven sisters last night, it's a
Trail might
long
be
trek
kinda
back
fresh.
here. Yeah. Thought there might be signs of it. So likely he didn't go out last night or come back early today.
or he can float?
It's possible.
Now. He's got the Tanuki
Okay.
cape from Mars.
Are
Yeah,
those correct
I just wanna-
assumptions?
Just want to satisfy myself of that.
I would
and,
say with how heavy things been snowing and such like that, I don't think you would be able to conclude that no one's come back at all since last night. I would say at least within the last few hours this morning, doesn't look like anyone's come or gone, at least within the last like maybe 3 hours or so.
Inconclusive then.
Okay. Hey Sigrid, can you roll a fears test for me, please?
We're about to get our shit snuck up on.
Choose logic or empathy, and then roll that many dice. Okay.
One success.
All right. You do you want to push that at all?
Mm,
It's up to you.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. Take a condition. All right. All right. Now take a second condition.
Gosh darn it.
Two mental conditions as you start to have these horrible, dreadful visions of whatever frightens Sigrid, whatever that might be. What would frighten whatever you think would frighten Sigrid, and you also get this horrible scent of just viscera and kind of blood just begins to waft into your nose. This sort of same sense that you smelled yesterday when you all arrived at the scene at the chapel and saw Dogmoore laying on the ground.
So Sigurd is going to be very dramatic about this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you look over and you just see her. She's beginning to panic. She's literally suffering from terror or fear. Describe the smell. It smells like just lots and lots of iron and feces.
Wow.
And I'm sort of like trying to like get it out of my nose, like trying to like not smell it, and I'm almost kind of like tossing water in my face, trying to like smell something different. You can tell I am unwell mentally.
Okay.
Are there any checks we can make to help? Can we do like
So
she's not broken, so you don't have to worry about anything there. You would imagine she's definitely acting incredibly and instantaneously bizarre and strange. Like it's just out of nowhere. Something is affecting her.
to make like a inspiration check to try and help?
Inspiration would heal if she were broken or anything from it, but you don't need to do that.
Can I
right
just
now.
try
That's
and
only for that.
look
Okay.
around and see if I can see something that would be causing this?
If you would also like to roll a vigilance check, go right ahead.
Okay. I'll probably just use my binoculars for this
Okay.
one. I gotta get him in here somewhere. I haven't used him yet tonight.
Yeah.
There we go.
You happy with that roll, or you want to push it? You got one success.
Gosh, darn it, pushing did so much bad for me last time.
It's up to you.
there's so many dice there.
The
Why not?
potential of the roll is just so enticing.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it.
Okay. That's what I like to hear.
I will do frightened as my condition this time.
Okay.
Seems fair.
Okay.
One more.
You do not see anything out of the ordinary. However, your dogs have begun to sort of bark and tug at your leash. And when you listen, you hear the faint sound of another dog barking.
There are missing dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Like a really muffled, faint sound. The only reason you would probably hear it is just because you're so in tune with dogs, Dogmoore.
Dogmoore needs to find more dogs.
The sound of a dog in stress, actually.
Oh no, that's like my kryptonite. in
Exactly.
fact.
Somewhere towards the house.
Dogmoore needs to go. Dogmoore must save. Dogmore's
oh,
gonna
no.
go.
Okay. What does that mean? Where
Dogmore's
does
our-
Dogmoore have to go? I don't know what that means.
Do you just start running in that direction?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
There is a door.
He hasn't learned.
What would you like to do?
Nothing.
What would you like to do at the door, Dogmoore? Would you like to knock on it? Would you like to?
Can I hear the dogs from inside?
Yeah, it's a little fainter. It's very faint. But yes, you can. Your dogs are scratching and jumping at the door as well.
I'll go pound on the door one time and listen.
Okay. You're gonna pound on the door and listen.
See if somebody comes.
Okay. You hear something shuffling around. The door creaks open, and you see a kind of old, maybe 60-year-old man or so, 65-year-old man with kind of a salt and pepper beard and a very tight kind of pea coat, like almost military like or naval like jacket. He's standing there with kind of leaning against the door. And he says, "What do you want? Go away."
We were sent here by people in the town to get some guidance from you.
I don't care for the people in the town. Go away. I will not tell you a third time.
Precisely why we need your guidance. I don't care for the people in the town either.
You hear a click, and you see, as when you look down, he's got a gun hanging from his hand, kind of clinking against the wall.
Do you happen to like dogs?
And he will slowly raise the gun, and he will say, "Step away from the door, sir. I will use this." And then he will close the door as you step away.
Well, he only saw me at least, I think. So
What would you like to do?
do I still hear the dogs?
Yeah.
I'll wait for perhaps other people to catch up and see
Okay.
if we can have a quick
Why is he doing it again?
Yeah.
You guys are all in relatively the same place. Gunnar, I think, was doing a sort of circle around and such. And
I said
So-
I'll wait now.
So Dogmoore, what happened yesterday when you ran off?
good things to
Okay.
not me.
Okay. So did anyone answer?
Oh yeah, with a gun.
That's intense.
Said go away.
Was it the person that you saw running away from the inn?
That's a question. Does it seem consistent-ish? It sounded like it was consistent.
It sounded consistent. Yeah, because it is consistent-ish. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Dan, could you roll a force test for me, please?
A force test.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to push that?
I assume that that's telling me that I should.
If you like. I just asked the question, like whether you have a success or not.
Let's just go ahead and do it.
Okay. So you have to take a condition to
Yep.
do so, which you do, and then nothing happens. So take your condition. You feel like which ones do you take?
I took exhausted.
You just feel like a kind of very brief and sudden exhaustion wash over you, but as if something kind of came out of nowhere. You're like, oh, maybe it's just your age. You're 89. It's cold out.
I did come running down here.
Nearly died
Almost
yesterday. You got
Almost died
stitches
again today.
Yeah, but yeah. What do you guys want to do?
I'm concerned about these dogs I hear barking still.
The rest of us hear the dogs. There's Dogmoore losing it.
If he points it out to you and you listen really, really carefully, yes, you can also start to hear it as well. And it sounds just like one dog, by the way.
So what does this building look like?
Very small cottage, not particularly, nothing, single story. Door in the front on the south side, window a couple feet to the next of it, another window on the east side. On the west side of it, there's a lighthouse that goes up a couple stories. And they're connected.
Motion to Kron's, like I'm going to check the west window. Somebody want to check the east window?
There's
keep low if he's got a gun.
Yeah, I'd recommend you don't be seen.
There's no window on the west. It's just there's one like kind of southeast, like on the southern face of the building, and then there's one on the eastern face of the building.
Okay.
And then there's a door that goes into the house, and then there's a door that goes into the lighthouse.
I'll look through the window that Gunner doesn't take.
All right. So I'll take the eastern one. I'm going to slide my knuckle dusters on in my coat while I'm.
Okay. So who's at the eastern one?
I'm taking the eastern one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a vigilance test.
Okay. Right. I'm in the scene, so I don't get to use my eagle eyes with this one.
I will actually let that one happen, actually, in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right. I will push that.
The potential of that roll is so great.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll take a mental.
Yeah.
Okay.
One success, but I got one.
All those rolls.
Jeez.
You hear something to the east, something kind of stepping around. You look over to your east and you see like there's some like granite outcroppings of rock erupting out of the snow. You don't see what it is, but you just hear like the mushing of snow, of the crumpling of snow. Chuck, Anders, you're looking at the other window, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and you can do a vigilance test as well.
Oh, did I see nothing through the window, by the way?
We'll get to the window in 1 sec. I was going to give you that first. Okay.
I got one.
Okay. Chuck, your window is closer, so you can get to it. You hear some kind of muffled sounds, like someone talking very briefly.
Inside.
Yeah, inside. Let me...
Okay.
Here, let's give this a try. You guys can take a look at... I'm not sure if like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use maps, but I did one just for funsies. If you want to switch over to the lighthouse map, which is now visible to you all now.
Ooh.
Okay. And so Gunner,
Oh.
you were over to the east here, somewhere over here, by that window. And then Anders, you're over here. And the rest of you can just kind of situate yourself anywhere you want. The yellows are just sort of zones. Okay, so there's no grids; it's just zones, and so movement.
Or
is
which
between
map
zones.
are we on?
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse. Okay,
Now, was I
there it is.
which door would I have gone to?
Probably that front one there.
Yeah,
There's
but
like
you
two-
have stepped back away from the door at this point. Like I've credited you. With
Yeah,
stepping back.
and that's why I moved myself a little bit back from the door, at least.
Okay. Let everyone on the stream kind of.
It's so festive looking with the snow.
I know, right?
It's pretty cool.
I am so drawn in by stupid bells and whistles. I'm such a sucker for this kind of bells and whistles stuff.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay.
You even got a template to show it off.
Gunner, you
Mhm.
hear. You also begin to hear some muffling and some movement from the inside. And when you go to open the door,
Oh my!
you see on the inside. Hopefully that showed for you. But you see the man inside that you would have presumed is a lighthouse keeper. He has a staff in his hand, and he is mumbling some kind of chant of some kind. And the door or the shutters kind of swing open as you push on them, and he sees you, and he's going to hold up his gun. And at this point, you're going to have to roll initiative for this because he's ready to shoot. So we'll see whether or not he actually gets his shot off before you're able to sort of move. So everyone just go ahead and roll D10 for me really quick.
Oh boy.
Went so well for me last time. Oh my god!
What do we do? The D10. Sorry.
How do you do that?
Slash
Just
roll
slash
D10 is
R.
fine.
/R works.
Yeah, there's no real good. Again, this game uses card initiative. Unfortunately, it doesn't have card support yet. So just roll a D10 and we'll just deal with that.
Oh, space in between the R and the D.
All right. So we've got.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way, just because it's easier. Dogmoore gets to go first, and then it'll be Caius. Gunner with 3, good.
Dogmoore knows nothing of the danger.
Yürgan. Dogmoore knows nothing. Sigrid, and then it's Anders. Let me roll for. So this is going to be for the lighthouse keeper. A 2, so he will go on the same, basically the same as Caius. Oh my god, I completely just blanked on his name. Magnus, that's his name. And then I'll roll for something else. Doesn't matter what. Also a 2.
Definitely not some sort of pig creature.
It's definitely not some sort of pig creature. And
Why
then
would
I'll
it be pig creatures? It's never pig creatures.
roll for something else. Actually, I rolled a D6 the first time. Maybe re-roll it for the something else. Okay, so the first something else is an 8. So that's going to be right before Sigrid. And then I got to roll one more time. Also, okay, so there we go. All right, so Dogmoore, I'm just going to... I wanted to put this all together just because, but you, Anders, you're there, Gunner, you're there. But Dogmoore, you're not really involved in the first choice. It was really just kind of between Gunner and Magnus to see who got to go first.
Yes.
Gunner,
Kind of the initial round.
right. So Magnus did roll a 2 to Gunner's 3. So Magnus will actually go ahead and, with the window flown open, we'll take a shot. We'll shoot and fire. Gunner, you can choose if you want to dodge. If you want to, before the result of the roll, if you wanted to try to dodge, you're welcome to do that.
Dodging would take my action though from my round.
Dodging would take your fast action, not your slow action. So,
Okay. What can be done on the slow action?
if you look in the there's in the journal, there is under combat and healing, there's the combat actions. It shows you all the typical slow actions, all the typical fast actions. It's right in there. So, and basically anything that you do with a fast action, with the exception of the reactions.
Perfect. Climb a wall. The thing I wanted to do was to get on the roof of this, so I can
Okay.
do that as climb a wall, perhaps.
When your turn
as a
comes
slow
around.
action.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
your turn. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. So
So-
I will take my fast action to dodge.
Okay,
then.
so let me roll the attack to see if you even need to worry. So he's got his pistol and revolver. He will fire. All right, so go ahead and roll now.
Okay, what am I rolling?
So you would roll. It's agility to dodge.
Oof. I do not.
Okay,
Oh wait, I got one success.
you got one success. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically a success on the dodge will lower the damage. So the initial shot of the pistol does 2 damage. The extra success would make it do 3. Your success on the dodge brings that down to 2. So you take 2 damage.
So off of physical, I take 2 conditions.
Correct. It can be
Okay.
whichever one you want, and as long as you're as long as you're not 3 and then you take a 4th, you're not broken.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that'll be their main turn, and then with the next turn, you'll see them this figure run, open this door, and leave your sight as it seems to be they're running into the lighthouse. All of you would now hear the gunshot going off. And so I would say at this point we're in we're in free combat. I will also point out the time. So it's really late, so we can stop. I know a lot of you have kids and a lot of you have work. So if we want to resolve this next week, I'm more than happy to do that. Because I have no idea how long combat takes in this game. So
Probably a good spot.
yeah, so we could stop there. Gunner will say you're climbing up, no problem. So you're on top of the roof.
Want to get out of charge radius of a pig.
Yeah. If you could see,
Ooh.
if you could only see my screen and the little hidden things that I have. Oh, I didn't even realize that I moved this down so bad. Sorry, everybody. So there is a little better center. Okay. But anyway, we'll go ahead and stop there because it's already 9:39. Well, 9 for us, 9:37 for you. It's something else. So we'll resolve this fun little thing. But you did, in fact, hear something muffling around in the snow to the east behind you, and the gun just fired, and we're in the shit now. And we will resolve.
We are.
We will resolve that.
The real question is, will we come out of this shit?
I don't
or
know. We'll resolve that next week. All right. So quick plugs again. Adventures in Lollygagging. You can find all of
That's
our
us.
stuff. TheLollygaggers.com, twitch.tv/TheLollygaggers. Come hang out with us on Saturday when we're playing Electric Bashland. Come hang out with us on Thursday over on twitch.tv/SvaihanderRPG where we're
RPG.
playing Zweihander.
Yep.
Come hang out with Chuck and myself and a couple other folks tomorrow night on twitch.tv/Groovin Perilous Plays as we play Alien, another Free League game. Chuck, what are we doing with Defenders this week?
So with Defenders, we've got Wednesday, Mutant Crawl Classics. Some people here will be there, so it'll be plenty of fun. Nothing on Thursday. Friday, we'll have our turn on twitch.tv/SvaihanderRPG as we come back with our next episode of the Bloody Marches. Last time, the party got into a fight with a bunch of monster mushroom babies. So it'll be a fun follow-up on that. Then Friday, we've got the DCC Phylactery Hex Crawl. And I will note that this coming, I guess that's Saturday. The Saturday is the Hex Crawl. And also this will be the last Saturday that the DCC Hex Crawl will be on the Defenders Kobold channel. I can't say where it's going to, but it's going somewhere cool. So, yeah,
Can't wait for that.
fun stuff.
And Bert, where can I get your podcast?
Of Steam, Steel, and Murder at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. Also on the Notorious DMG channel. We're doing Shadowrun every other Sunday. So this Sunday will be dead, but next Sunday there will be another Shadowrun adventure.
Yeah,
You're
16th.
disappearing out of frame, Bert.
Yeah, I probably
Come
didn't
back to
frame
it.
it that well I had to frame it differently on the second one. I'll get it better next week. Okay. And I think that's all for plugs. I think everybody else would just reinforce all the other plugs we just made. So for that, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us in channel. Thank you for watching this on VOD. And we'll see you next week where I get to kill like half the party. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yay! I'm
Only
done
half.
with
And literally feast on their intros, like quite literally. It's
Ooh,
not just
ooh.
it's not just a figurative
the best
statement.
part.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
That's how he gets his dice
Yay.
rolls.
That's how I get my
That's it.
protein, you know. So
Yeah.
all right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Later.